Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode 125. We are live and ready to have some fun tonight because it is Friday night. Friday night's the best. You got the whole weekend right around the corner, you know, nice and chill time. You got lots of time to play games, all that kind of fun stuff. Shout out to all the people here hanging out, ready for the show to get started. We got a big panel today. 3-Bit's actually back on Xbox Ultimate today, which is nice to see. But we also have a special
Starfield's
guest.
Launching.
Yeah, yeah, you can. That's true, right? Because if he wasn't here, that would mean he has to hide something,
right?
You know,
right. So Starfield's coming. March.
Yeah, let's go. There's some stuff hidden in the stars on our thumbnail. Everybody, I suggest you check that out. Shout out to our very special guest today. We've had numerous lords on our show before. We've had Lord Cognito on the show. We've had King David on the show. But this is, I think, a first. Now, I've met Addict a few times because we've been on Iron Lord's podcast, and he's done our Fun Speculation E3 prediction special as well. Awesome dude in the community as also host of the Addict show on Iron Lords. Also, R&R with the Lords, the newer show with King David there, talking about movies and stuff like that. And also, a quarter of Iron Lords podcast, the one and only Lord Addict is here. What is going on, dude? You're a busy dude, man, all those shows.
Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand. I refuse to do anything more.
Yeah, no,
like
no
now
fourth
it's
show.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Nah, the only way I do a fourth or fifth show is if I eliminate one of the other ones. So like, yeah, it's definitely a fight uphill. Like that's for sure. But yeah, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, man. It's good catching up with you. And we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about, dude. So this is gonna be an interesting show because it's been an interesting gaming world the last couple weeks. So I think a lot of us have probably got a lot to say. But hey, 3-Bit's back. So let's get to the animator for the Aflac Duck himself, the former Fable developer. Let's see, former Marvel animator, NFT extraordinaire. Let's see, what else can we throw in there? Actor,
Starfield secret holder,
a man that has been trapped in an elevator with none other than Nina Dobrev. What else can we add to that?
I saw on his Twitter he posted he works at Amazon warehouse, so former Amazon warehouse worker.
Never again. Terrible experience.
What's up, 3-Bit? How's it going, man?
What's up, guys? It's going good. I haven't been on Xbox Ultimate in a while. You know, I've been on other shows, but it's been some time. So I thought I would drop by today. So it's good to see the panel, Lord Addict. We did do one show together, so it's good to see you, man. It's gonna be a
what
great
show was that?
It was the Iron Lords. I was on one episode of it a while ago.
Yeah, he's very
There's
forgettable.
just so many at this point. It's hard to keep up with all the guests.
Yeah,
there was a time we was having a guest every week for like 8 weeks, like 8 months straight. Like it was, they all blend in at one point in time.
Yeah. Combating Pong. Pong used to be on like everything.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Fuzzy is on everything now.
Fuzzy's everywhere.
Do you have burns on your chair? What is that?
What? Yeah. What is that?
It's a taco blanket.
It's a taco blanket. Oh my
god.
Yeah.
Do you wrap yourself
maybe
up
you'd
in
light your
that?
chair on fire or something? I didn't know.
Do you wrap yourself up in that at night and like chill
sometimes,
like a burrito?
Yeah. Just like you know, it's comfy.
Is that your cute little nickname to your close friends, little burrito? Is that what you're called?
That's not her nickname for him.
This segment is brought to you by Taco Bell.
We're also sponsored by Taco Bell.
No, we're not. I wish we were. I go there enough. I would love some free.
That would be awesome.
My Taco Bell's ass tastes like chemicals.
No, my Taco Bell always fucking runs out of Baja Blast, motherfuckers.
Sorry. Addict, I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but we tend to go left and sideways quite a bit here on Xbox Ultimate.
We do get some topics in here, though.
Yeah. Some of our other shows are more in line with actually being serious, but we have a hard time rating this crew in. Pong Soul, what's up with you?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Way out of order tonight, too. Jeez. No, it's great to be here. It's Friday night. It doesn't get much better. Slid in here nice and late again, but we got the show started relatively on time. Attic, it's amazing to have you on, brother. Great to see you again. Always love your opinions, especially when we get into some of these juicier topics. You've been stirring stuff up on Twitter, too, my friend. I like it.
I've been the whole Twitter space coming at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, dude, like come at me, like all of you, like you
Come at me,
you
bro.
you can shadow clone and be 100-on-1. I'm still knock y'all out. Like,
Let's go.
Believe it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I was watching that. And of course, to have 3-Bit back on with us. Jeez, the unicorn shows up. The man's all done polishing up. Him and Todd finished polishing up Starfield. When's the release date? 3-Bit? When's the release date?
You gotta wait for him to get his wine in him, and then he'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
We are going to talk a little
Great
bit about Fable
Yeah.
later, so that'll be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting.
He might go off camera for that
Yeah,
one.
probably
No,
so.
great to have 3-Bit here. Chat, you guys are all looking absolutely amazing. Thanks for all joining us tonight. We're gonna have a great show. Let's get down to business, man. Let's do this.
You know what I did notice though when I was introing 3-Bit is there was a lot of formers there. You know, former this, former that, from that. When are you gonna hold down a job, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
yo,
just never satisfied.
Listen,
I mean,
they were about to put me on Forza, and I was like, okay, I'm good.
yeah, it was
Like-
you that wanted out. Okay, yeah,
Dude,
Just so
It was
happened
like
to be just a
four-
week before mass layoff.
he was like, Forza is where I draw the line.
That's right. I'm not gonna work on that.
No, I what I realized after working with UB, working with Playground and
Yeah.
everything was that while those were two very contrasting experiences,
yeah,
UB I kind of talked about it in last show where it was not fun.
yeah,
But I realized I like the movie / commercial industry a little bit more.
yeah,
So focusing on that is just a realization I came to. Like, game design is amazing. I love all the people there that are over there at Playground. They are creating something amazing. But I don't know. Just something I realized, like, I really like doing video and commercials and stuff. It's a whole different pipeline.
that's cool though, man.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
happy
something I
for- I'm
realized.
happy for
but
you.
those are awesome games though. And I tried it and conquered, and now I'm moving on.
You do know that Xbox needs animators for their Xbox commercials, right?
Yeah, if some things like that where I could bridge the gap of both worlds, I would definitely, heck yeah,
Right on.
Video game marketing.
definitely do that.
You should do
Yeah.
that.
Things like their
I would
developer
definitely do that.
directs, you could probably give some good input on and stuff like that, right?
Hey, I know somebody. I'll let you. I'll hook you up. There too, baby.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Fuzzy, what's up with you, man? How's it going, dude?
Oh man, it's awesome being here with you guys. Welcome aboard, Attic. First time on a podcast with you. Always enjoy watching you guys on Sunday. So glad get to chop it up a bit and talk about some of these topics. So let's do this.
Right on, man. We got Jasper the Realist hanging out.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I've been deep diving into the wizarding world. Started watching the movies for the first time, so I'm like
Wow.
on, like on the.
Wow.
Just finished Half Blood Prince today, so I got 2 more left, I think.
That's like your generation, bro. How did you not watch those movies ever?
I don't know, because I get Mav called out the other day.
Well,
He's like, I think it's because
actors-
you got called Harry Potter.
Actors don't watch the movies they're in. You know what I mean? Have you heard that? You know, like Daniel Radcliffe can't go and watch. That's, you know, Jasper's not his real name, everybody. It's Daniel. Okay.
I
like,
wish.
You can't, actors don't watch the movies that they're in. It's just well known. You know, like Johnny Depp still hasn't seen The Tourist, that obviously, and stuff like that going on. You know, Jasper hasn't seen any of his Harry Potter flicks. So instead, he's just become a Cards Against Humanity meme.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know the
What does that mean?
card, that Daniel Radcliffe's delicious asshole Cards Against Humanity card. Y'all never played that?
I know what it is, but I haven't heard of that card.
There's the Cards Against Humanity card that you play, and it says Daniel Radcliffe's delicious asshole. And it's just fucking just random. It wins every time.
I don't know, Attic.
Yeah, no, the Cards Against Humanity. Y'all never played that?
I've played it.
I've played it. I've never
Yeah.
heard of
Yeah.
that card, but
It's
Yeah.
in the main game.
That's a Mav special deck right there that he uses.
No, that's the main deck. It was in the main deck. Anyway, Psycho, how's it going, man?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thanks.
okay.
Good.
No, I've been playing a shit ton of some Hogwarts Legacy, and I had an asshole try to spoil the ending for me.
Daniel
in
Radcliffe's
one
not
of
in the game.
No, but somebody tried. Yeah, so tried to spoil the ending in one of my posts, and I was like, "You dumb fucks!"
I've already seen them all. Don't
I
care.
just blocked. I was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of predicted the ending, like when I started playing the game. Like,
"Yeah, I mean,
Kinda,
Of
it's
course you did.
kinda
Jasper.
obvious.
Of course you did. I mean,
you get an
obvious.
inkling."
yeah,
but,
obviously,
but yeah.
So obvious.
So-
I mean, it kind of was.
I mean, I guess, we're already kind of on the discussion, so I guess we can kind of get started with this, right? I finally had time today to put some time into Hogwarts Legacy. I had a stream earlier today. I played for like hour and a half or so. I just got done playing like another hour of the game, roughly. So I've had a chance to finally weigh in on it. Fantastic game. Really well made. It reminds me of like, when we got all those shitty licensed games back in the day, like what we always wish those would have been, right?
Yeah.
Or like those could be. Like this is like the epitome of that, right? Like it's just fully embracing the universe and the world. It's well made. It's got some performance issues here and there if you don't have VRR on, because I noticed that on the other screen where I don't have that as opposed to this one, and that was playing in performance mode. However, that's just like slight optimization stuff for as good as this game is, as big as this game is, like with everything going on, the amount of detail in it, I find it pretty damn impressive. Really enjoying the game. I know you've had a chance to stream it a couple times too, Addict, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are your opinions on it? Are you like great, good, or enjoying it so far?
I actually feel like it should have scored more. Like,
Really?
it's such a good quality game, and they took the. I like when companies respect the lore. They respect the atmosphere, and they hit that out of the park. And I feel like, especially all the stuff that's going on with this game, it's sad that such like a pure game, because a lot of people that are complaining about that game are on the outside looking in the gaming industry, and it's like, but us on the inside of this hell that we can't leave, it's such a good game, and it's sad that, I mean, maybe it's not even sad, because I think that all the stuff going around it is the reason it's selling so well. So maybe they wanted it. I don't know. Like one would think at this point, with themselves, I saw someone post on Twitter. It's like, instead of paying like all these millions for marketing, just pay a giant YouTuber to talk shit about your game. You'll sell better. Like,
Well, it turns out when you try to cancel something, most people go out and buy that thing you try to cancel. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is it's as much attempts as there has been to cancel this game. Like it is taken off. You know what I mean? Like it's selling like crazy. It's beating on Twitch and stuff like that, and it's beating like big time multiplayer games numbers, right? And on online for concurrent players as well. It's beating like big time multiplayer game numbers. That usually doesn't happen.
680,000, I think it peaked at today, which is third most all time.
That is crazy, dude. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have seen that coming. I knew it was gonna be popular, but like this popular, I mean,
had like over 1 million people watching it.
Yeah, on Twitch,
you know what that is.
1.3. Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what it is? They got a bunch of people scared to play it, so they got to watch it. So,
I wonder
if convince themselves that it's okay to buy.
I wonder
It's like
if
a
part of that's
curiosity thing
because
now at
like
this point.
part of that could be because it's not technically out on last gen yet. It's only on current gen and PC. So like a lot of people are trying to figure out like what the game is and stuff. So that may be why we're seeing like more viewers towards it.
right?
Could very well be.
I don't know, man. It's like I feel like this game's kind of taking the world by storm a little bit.
because
like,
it came out and it was good.
yeah,
Man,
Well,
we talked
it's-
about this. That's the whole thing. Like people were excited for it. I was excited for it before anything, right? Again, we talked about it multiple times. Every time we saw it, it was looking better and better. But there was a lot of people that were on the fence because there was a lot of people looking at Avalanche WB going, what have they done? They've done Cars 3 was the last game that they made. Before that was Disney Infinity. 2007 was Hannah Montana's World Tour. Listen,
yeah,
All
people
great
didn't know what to
games, 10 out of 10.
expect. Yeah, right. They didn't know what it was going to be. I mean, a lot of people were expecting it to maybe look good, but be really shitty mechanics, gameplay wise, all that kind of stuff. Well, the game comes out and it's phenomenal, and that's what caught people off guard, right?
You know,
all
it's
of a
funny.
sudden, people start talking. Yeah, go ahead, Eddie. Yeah,
There's a lot of people that's probably like, I went on this stand because I didn't believe in cancel culture to this degree, and I bought it.
Yep.
But I'm so glad it's a good game because I thought I was going to play some dog shit.
Right. Yeah, you know that happened. I saw people on Twitter going, I didn't think I was going to enjoy this, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it right now.
I saw a TikToker. He had someone like saying there that you are like evil person if you buy it. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, I'm giving away 115 copies of Hogwarts Legacy on Twitch right now.
What? Wow.
Yeah. No, I think that's what's really pushed it over the edges, because it actually showed up, and outside of all the controversy and the nonsense and all the stupid shit, it actually showed up and is one of the better performing games we've seen that is this detailed of a world that, as Attic said, respects the lore. It actually captures the atmosphere, like I talked about last night, Matt, with you. The writers for this found a way to replicate JK's style within the game so that it feels like it's just a natural extension of the entire universe. And that's not easy to do, no matter what, at the end of the day, but they nailed it. So I think a lot of that plays into this as well, too. So.
Yeah. Well, not everybody is promoting the game. Obviously, there's mobs of people out there trying to harass people for playing the game. You also have what has kind of surprised me from some journalists out there. Like, I expected some.
You get surprised by them now?
Well, the thing is, like, the obvious hypocrisy with journalism right now coming out. Tom Henderson called it out perfectly on Twitter today. How journalists within gaming always claim, hey, they're above, like, taking, like, you know, if they're going to give their honest opinions about things, regardless of getting codes or regardless of embargoes and all this stuff. They're above all that, right? But then comes when you don't get a code, you feel slighted about it and you trash a game or whatever. And then people come out and defend, well, like, people give games good scores because they got codes and are told what to say, right? So, like, which is it? You know what I mean? Do you have integrity, right, as a journalist, or do you not, right? Because this one review that came out today from Wired, which they gave Hogwarts Legacy a 1 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah. He normally reviews sex toys, by the way.
Yeah, I have it right up here. The best vibrators for everyone, yes, even men. 7 great Valentine's Day deals on vibrators and suction toys. The best coffee subscriptions we've savored. 5 great sex tech deals from Lilo's anniversary sale.
Well, I don't think a game can give you as much pleasure as those, so maybe that's why they don't like it.
What is the last?
They didn't know what to do with the game, where to put it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna read a little bio for the
last review, I think, was Valhalla a while ago.
Yes, it was Valhalla.
I don't know how to say the name, so I apologize if I'm butchering the name, but Gina Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Gina Rodriguez Gray is a product writer and reviewer at Wired, covering coffee, sex tech, and gaming. Previously, she was a legal researcher for Thomson Reuters and a tech reporter for Digital Trends. She currently resides in Portland, Oregon, with her partner and a pet rabbit named Lola. Well, shout out to the pet rabbit named Lola, and shout out to your horrible fucking review that actually makes no sense and has no journalistic integrity whatsoever on a big tech site like Wired. Just saying the game is mid at best and its real world harms are impossible to ignore. It helped me say goodbye to the setting for good. The story is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes. The gameplay feels dated. The graphics feel like they're a couple generations behind. Obviously, this person has never played a video game before. All the characters are one-dimensional. It doesn't stay true to the established lore. Every character feels like an off-brand version of the characters we know and love. There's no sense of place, no magic, no heart. That's the basic synopsis. And then it goes on just to basically trash the game for the entire article.
You know, I think I figured out what's going on here, man. You know, just stay with me.
Okay.
This dude played one of the 360 and PS2 games. He didn't play what we're playing now. He played one of those Harry Potter. You know what? He played Goblet of Fire for the 360. That's what he played.
Goblet of Fire. You know what?
I hope it was for the 360. I can't remember which system.
I have a feeling I know what happened. Remember a long time ago, Pong, when like gameplay footage leaked of Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah.
And like it was a fake trailer and it was like fake gameplay and it was actually a 360 game and they actually fooled me with it. And then I was like, how was I that fucking stupid? Because I was sitting there trashing on the game, being like, my God, guys, this is going to be fucking horrible. Like, what is this? I think Gina saw that,
fell for it too.
Saw the same thing and she didn't actually play the game. I think that's what it is. I think she just watched that and was like, this is horrible. You know? Maybe that's it, man. I don't know.
Wired's editor should be fired for approving this. There should be backlash out there for this kind of review. Again, if you want to put out a statement and make all the political statements you want to, if you want to do that, IGN did that separate from the review that Ty Guy Dravis did. Shout out to Ty Guy for doing his job. You can do that. That's your right. But if you're honestly going to put this underneath the review section and have somebody do this, there is no integrity left. And I don't care what you want to say. I have a moral obligation to do this. This is morally right to do. No. Not underneath the review section. Come out with a statement and say, we're not touching this game because of A, B, C, D through Z. Do that. Put out a big article on it.
Or at the end of it, the beginning of it, make a paragraph says like, these are the current situations along with it. Like, here's a controversy. Like, this is what we feel about it. But don't let that impact your like review of the game.
Just don't do the review.
The sad part is the whole industry should have came together for this. Like, I can understand, like, you know, to a point, I don't like how like certain Xbox and PlayStation sites like give their games 10s and the other ones like 5s and vice versa. But this is worse than that. That means you intentionally asked for a code for this, or maybe they didn't get a code. I don't know.
I don't think they got a code because the review was late, right?
Yeah, just so you could review it, just so you can pretty much throw a wrench in their Metacritic score. Like you intentionally try to mess up the review process. And to me, at that point, it's like Microsoft, Sony, 2K, Ubisoft, Warner Brother that should be like, you out of here now. You ain't getting nothing from any of us.
Yeah. If I was any of them, I wouldn't send Wired a code anymore whatsoever. No. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're right. As an industry, they got to stand up to stuff like this because, like, whatever the cause is, you got to put that aside for your integrity of your job and what you're trying to do.
I take that back. Give them Madden every year. Give them 2K every year.
That's it.
But I honestly feel like there is no real journalistic integrity anymore. It's an old notion.
There hasn't been in a while.
It's an old notion. It's all gone for the most part. Like, go ahead.
I can't say that. I do think there's a lot of people that actually care about the industry that they cover. But the problem is the ones that take advantage and the ones that, you know, will pretty much brag that they don't beat the games. Their voices are louder than everyone. Like Travis, for instance, like that dude is one of the only people I know that will put a game that has higher criterias when he reviews a game than I do.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be talking to him Xbox Live Party. He'll say, I'm like, damn, like let them breathe, let them eat. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair too. A lot of people can be really critical of things and like have that perspective, right? Like there's a lot of movie critics that way that nitpick at everything too. You know what I mean? But like as a whole, I think like this has become like too agenda based, right? And if for whatever the agenda is, whether it's you're trying to fight for your cause or whatever, or you're trying to just do something for clicks, that's an agenda as well, right? That we see a lot of with these gaming websites, especially, you know. So it's kind of a shame that it's kind of infested its way now into our hobby, right? Within this, and I don't feel like it's. I honestly feel like it's not cool, and I'm not trying. Like I'm whatever you want to believe, whoever you want to be, all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to stand for, I'm up for all that, right? But when you go and you try and tell other people that they can't enjoy something because you don't like it, because you don't like somebody's opinion, that's messed up. That's hypocritical and completely against everything that you're trying to fight for. You know what I mean? So like stop putting labels on other people, calling them phobes of this and that, just because they like Harry fucking Potter, right? And a lot of us don't even like Harry Potter. I don't give a shit about Harry Potter, honestly. I just like good video games, right? And this is so far a really good video game. And if somebody like WB puts out a quality product like this, that they actually put all that time and effort in, when we've been dealing with shit products, honestly, from a lot of these big publishers for the last couple of years, we've gotten watered down games coming out broken, games buggy as hell, all these different things. And you can actually tell they took the extra time on this, put all the little detail, all the polish. Yeah, it's got a little bit of optimization stuff, but like for it to come out in the shape that it did, and as good and as fully fleshed out as it is so far, and it's sitting at a 90 on the Series X on Metacritic, despite all this cancel culture shit, that is a huge fucking accomplishment, right? And they should be applauded right now instead of all of this noise detracting from what they did, because this could be a Game of the Year candidate. What a shitstorm will happen if this does win Game of the Year at the end of the year.
Or if it gets snubbed at the end of the year. If the year goes through and this legitimately still stands on its own and it should be there and it doesn't get in at the Keeleys, oh my God. Oh my God.
You already know that fucking office desk when they're all gathered around voting on the games, you'd be like, we can't put Hogwarts because it's transphobic or whatever. It's like,
you saw when they announced it at the Keeleys and the crowd went silent. There was no applause when they announced the what were they doing? The most anticipated games, I think it was in for, and they cheered for every game, and then Hogwarts was said, and the crowd just sat there like this. Oh God.
I think if it gets snubbed, then that kills his legitimacy as far as an award show. It would at that point it's like, why even bother having an award show if you're going to snub games year after year that technically should be in the conversation of Game of the Year? Like they did that with Jedi Fallen Order, and I understand there are totally different reasonings behind that, but then this is about games, not about.
I will say though, this year's
going
to be probably the hardest year to get up on that list.
Right.
Like, you could get a pass with that.
But honestly, I feel like this will be a
games.
limelight at the end of the year because of this. Regardless, I feel like they're going to be damned if you do, damned if you don't put it in the category, because everybody will call them out on being like afraid to put it in there if it's not, and the other group will call them out if they put it in there, right? So it's going to be one of those things where it's like they're going to get shouted out from somebody either way, probably. The only saving grace would be actually because this year has so many good games, right? If they're
Keely's praying Starfield, Zelda, and Spider-Man 2 score like 93.
Yeah. Let's
what
go.
he's praying for right now.
Right. Yeah, like if there's like 4 or 5 other big games other than Hogwarts Legacy, but so far, I mean, would y'all probably say this might be Game of the Year so far? From what the reception
I think it's
is?
too soon.
Definitely be
It's too soon.
So far, I'm with
Dead Space. You got basically the last 2 months we've had a lot of good games. So you have Dead Space come out, you had Hi-Fi Rush, you have Hogwarts Legacy, you have
Forspoken.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna do a hot
be it.
take and put Forspoken ahead of this right now, but that's just my opinion.
Like out of these games so far, would y'all put it a notch above the rest?
This and Hi-Fi Rush.
So far, it's my Game of the Year.
Oh, you got it, because I know you were trying to itch to play it 3-bit.
Yeah, I got it.
What are you?
Amazing.
Are you Ravenclaw? Are you?
I'm Ravenclaw. Yeah.
Ravenclaw. Who else here is Ravenclaw?
Me.
Okay, three Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Well, Pong, are you Slytherin?
Of
I knew
course.
it.
He's with He's with Kate. He's
Are you
fucking-
picking like the bad options when you talk to people?
What? Yeah, I do. For the most part, I was nice to the girl with the stupid marbles, the stink marbles, whatever they call. Yeah, I was nice to her.
So you always like ask
her
her like, "Hey, I got this shit. Can I get some money off that?" Or you still give it?
Are you?
Where's my reward?
What are you, Jasper? You're Slytherin too, right?
I'm Gryffindor.
Oh, you're Gryffindor. Oh, of course, you're fucking Harry Potter. I mean, my God, not too on the nose with that.
Attic, where are you?
Attic gone. That's what
you
Attic's
go.
using the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
No, Attic stepped away for a second.
I got a question since you're like actually choosing some of those bad options. Is it like this? Do you know if it's the same outcome, or do you actually like get stuff off of it? Okay, I didn't know if there's like a difference.
It winds up being the same outcome. They answer like a little bit different, but overall, it winds up being the same damn thing at the end of the day.
I figure as much.
What house did you get chosen, Addict?
I let my chat answer the questions, and then them bastards tricked me into being Slytherin.
Oh. They tricked you the right way, Addict. They tricked you the right way. Let's go.
I
Slytherin
feel like
for life.
Ravenclaw is probably the boring one. Like
No, Hufflepuff is the boring one.
Now Hufflepuff is the laid back, chill,
Yeah.
herbalists that
yes.
I like to hang out with. But
Annoying.
Shrooms.
Ravenclaw is like the nerdy ones.
they
you know?
only asked me 2 questions though.
Yeah, you were supposed to
Yeah.
go online. You should have done the whole attach your.
Should I
fan account.
restart
You
it
should've gone
and
through
done
those.
and do that so I have more questions to answer? I mean,
No.
I mean, how it depends on how far along you are. If you're less
Yeah.
than like
It ain't that
level
serious.
10,
It ain't
Yeah, I
that
mean,
serious.
no.
It's not going to change too much of an outcome.
Well, it changes
but,
my
like,
classmates, right? Or no? Does it not change?
Yes.
Yeah, but you still get to talk to the other ones. Like,
Yeah.
but
Right.
it's just like your initial
The ones
experience
you
is a
main
little different.
interactions with are with the different
Right.
though.
So I got
'Cause I was watching video.
Natty, who's a girl from Ghana, and
She's
I,
Gryffindor.
She's
Gryffindor?
she's across the
Yeah.
across.
okay
the board.
because
You
she
meet
was
her.
in one of the classes.
You get 3 main classmates for each house, and you do like missions for them.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. I'm not to that point yet, I guess. But actually, you know, there was a couple people. Oh, you're right. I did
Yeah,
get a couple,
the kid
yeah.
that threw that stink bomb in the beginning, man.
Yeah,
That's one
yeah,
of the-
that
yeah,
little
yeah.
fuck face. Yeah. I was like, you're my classmate, little dipshit guy. Really? Are you serious? I got paired up with you automatically, the first person I meet.
I was doing the duels where you like either
Yes.
like
Yeah.
I was sitting there because the first one they make you pair up,
Right.
and then the second one I was like, I'm gonna do this shit on my own, thinking it's gonna be 1-on-1. No,
Yeah.
it's 1-on-2.
No. Yeah.
And then the third time I was like, fuck it, let's do it again. And then it was 1-on-3.
Yep.
And then I did it again, and I ended up fighting 4 people at the same time. I beat every one of their ass. Like,
Yep. Those duels are fun. I like those.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, it's time to get to our sponsor of the show. Shout out to manscaped.com for sponsoring Xbox Ultimate Podcast. And everybody, again, we have breaking news. It's breaking every week now. Breaking news.
Yeah.
Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right. They're once again revolutionizing men's grooming with a brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind the Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard look. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using code FUNSPECULATION for 20% off and free shipping. It's got a lot of cool stuff. The Pro Kit actually comes with more things than just the razor. You get let's see. First off, it comes with a titanium coated T-blade that's tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency. Single stroke, everybody, you can finish in one stroke. That's a lot of efficiency, if you ask me. That brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Pro Kit doesn't end there though. They've created 4 dermatologist tested formulations for your post-trim care. Get this, guys. First, there's beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember all your hair is different, everybody. And all our hair is not the same, right? Jasper's hair, it looks like he's a old, like, a colonial soldier or some shit. And mine's all, like, wiry and stuff. And I have a fucking horrible, huge forehead. 3-Bit's hair is different. Yeah, all our hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. That's why the kit has made shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, replace natural oils, and promote beard health. Everybody, hey, get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code FUNSPECULATION. Manscaped. Beard hedger. 1 stroke. 1 guard. 20 lengths. Let's go.
Good stuff.
Manscaped.
3-Bit was using an invisibility potion that whole time you were trying to read that.
Trying to show the
Yeah.
package, but I'm too lazy to turn off my.
You're trying to
wait.
show your package?
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There it goes.
We're some of us are getting here. They're getting the beard hedgers. 3-Bit got his first because he actually lives like 2 blocks away from the distribution center.
Yeah, I was hoping mine was going to come tonight because I shaved, but it didn't show up today. So.
No, you have to.
I drove to my old house just to get this, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, we got a porch pirate here, everybody. The 3-Bit like moved last week, and they shipped the beard hedger to his old address. So he just whipped on by and took his
I was basically.
Can't wait to see you on Ring. It's gonna be amazing. That Ring video.
Anyone living there yet? Or...
Those Ring videos.
to see a video of me like.
I'm waiting on some new ad reads, to be honest with you guys. So we'll see. I'm trying to fill it in with some of the informational details, but it's good stuff. Everybody do check it out. Promise they're good products.
Smooth balls for everybody. Let's go.
And smooth faces. Though this will get my neck beard will be gone soon once I get that razor. I'm just waiting on it, guys. I think Attic, you'd probably like one. A beard hedger.
I don't know. We'll see. I had a shave because my girlfriend started getting like really annoyed.
That's great.
So I was like, be in a relationship, have a long beard. Be in a relationship,
Yeah.
because it didn't feel like it was an option at that point. It felt like
You flipped a quarter.
it was one or the other. No, unfortunately, I didn't flip a corner. I just bent the knee like a bitch.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's what you got to do. Hey, did y'all hear that Fable's in a playable state supposedly? This is according to a LinkedIn profile. 3-bit disappeared randomly somehow. That's weird. They're supposedly according to rumors out there now, like this game is playable through the game and stuff and alpha. It's not surprising to me. But does that move the needle for us? Are we moving from 2028 to 2027 now, or like where are we at with Fable? You think we could potentially see
25?
25.
Boy, I just can't believe how fast they got it up and running on Unreal 5 already. God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they got
that's right. They had to switch over the engine, but that person said they were going to be 2024.
Right. No, I think it remains the same. I think they're right on track. I don't think this moves the needle either way. I think we've all agreed that 2025 was probably when we see this game, holiday of, and I think that's still on pace. This doesn't do anything for me personally because I expected it was going to be playable. Again, playable doesn't mean that like it's finished or like they've got everything in the game.
When Perfect Dark was playable like 2-3 years ago or
with
whatever.
like
go look at like the Sea of Thieves stuff like early on, like they've like shown stuff like that where it's like clay people, like it's so like
Did y'all see it? Remember the leaked like GTA footage? Like that's playable.
Right.
Yep.
It's playable.
Right.
Pretty great too.
How does that work with game dev 3-bit? Like you've seen stuff like not specifically on Fable, right? But with game development, like how far along usually does a game have to be in a playable state? You know what I mean? Is that early on, or is it middle of the progress usually, or what? Because you're actually animated.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the game. Like if the game is focused on multiplayer, for example, they try to get that playable very early on. They'll just have like gray boxes and there will be no animation on the gun. It's just sort of like that.
Right.
You heard it here first. Fable is multiplayer and has guns. Everybody, let's go.
Well, the third one did.
No, it does. It really does depend on the game though. Like
okay, so now specifically on Fable, where? No, I'm just kidding. No, so single player games usually they don't get. Maybe sometimes they aren't as playable further in development.
Yeah, it's like different pipelines. Like if it's single player focused, maybe the main thing they want to like if it's horror, for example, they want to make sure as you're walking through the hallway, the timing of a monster jumping out. So you just see like a gray monster. It really depends on like each game, to be honest. But I would say like most games, they try to have it playable very early on, so that way when you start adding assets to it and getting it out of that gray box stage, how it feels essentially. When you start adding the assets.
By somebody saying a game's
early.
playable, it wouldn't really mean anything to you.
It could mean something or it could not. It depends on the game.
Thanks for the help.
I'm sorry. It really does depend on the game.
It also depends on the studio. Yeah, like because if it's like an independent studio, they may be having to try to get their game in a playable state so they can help their pitch or whatever.
But what
if
give it
somewhere
the one thing
or
I'll
like
say
something like
about Fable is they were transitioning to a new engine, or they're using Forza tech right? And they're making it for RPGs. So they got to do a lot of work within that engine. So for me, just thinking about Fable in a playable state may mean something differently than like a team that's been like creating the same style games in the same engine over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, it
That's what I was
doesn't
gonna
necessarily
say.
mean that there's like a quest or like stories in the game or anything. It could just be them walking around the world, just making sure like it actually runs or whatever, you know? Like,
right. It's not like polishing phase. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, like if you have a game like God of War Ragnarok, for example, like the base was already in there, so their pipeline may be different. Of like it's already playable like the first game, right? So you're just figuring out like
Because it's DLC.
pretty much. It's pretty much like the game was already playable, so it's like all about like their pipeline was probably figuring out what other combat things to add and making it more open world. Like that's why every pipeline would be different, especially if you have a previous game. But if you're kind of building games from the ground up, it's and building a whole new engine for it, you know, it's like a whole you're building tools for that specific game, so that can take a little bit longer.
Yeah, right on. I mean, I don't know. Are we off base to think Fable could come as early as 2024 Addict, or do you think it's after that?
I could see it being a holiday 2024 game. I would say probably you're looking at a 2025 game, because I don't think it's going to be necessarily if the game's ready. It's going to be what are we going to put in front of what? Because I think Microsoft's going to eventually have a not if a game's ready, is we got too many games ready at the same time issue.
Yeah,
And I think stuff's just going to naturally get pushed back a couple months just so you don't cannibalize your own audience.
yeah. I
So
mean,
you're
that's
thinking
fair.
like maybe possibly spring 2025 then.
well, I don't. This is just like speculation, but like September 20th, 2005 was when the first Fable came out, so it could be like a 20-year anniversary, like September 20th,
2025.
25.
That's actually
Yeah.
not a bad thought, Jasper. Like seriously, like they tried to do that with Halo Infinite.
with Halo, yeah.
I mean, they missed it. Didn't they miss it by a year? Wasn't it? No.
Yeah, they missed it.
Yeah, they
got
missed it by a
delayed,
year,
and then-
right?
Yeah.
Or did they? No, they missed the Series X launch, but then it launched around the.
Oh,
And then it launched on the 20th
'cause-
anniversary.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think so it launched around the 20th anniversary. So
Be nice to get a remastered trilogy right beforehand.
man,
Get
that
on the 20th,
man, I
20th
do.
anniversary, that'd be sweet.
What was that date again? September 5th?
September 20th,
September 5th?
2005, yeah.
Look, everybody, if 3-bit went off a camera right here, guys. Holy shit. Jasper might have just nailed this. Everybody, I'm saying, like, check this out. Jasper might have just called this. He might.
Oh, it's a
remember.
Saturday, though.
That doesn't matter. No fucking for the 20th anniversary.
A day early access, put it out on Friday.
Yeah, no, they'll have the official release date as like or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they'll like
Yeah.
release the
The
early
18th.
access on the Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
But check this out, man. Like, I think Jasper may have called it first. September 20th, 2025. Look out for Fable.
That week.
We've been sitting on the Starfield one for 8 months. We got to sit on this one for 2.5 years.
Are you okay, 3-bit?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
disappeared there for a second.
What?
I'm worried
I
about
was
you,
eating
man.
chicken.
Yeah.
I was eating chicken.
You eating chicken? Okay. Fair enough.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it comes out sooner than later, but we'll see. I don't know if that means anything too much. Besides that, guys, I want to get Fuzzy's take on this next thing. The FTC. We won't spend a whole lot of time on this, maybe. But Sony and the FTC and Xbox have been kind of having a threesomes quarrel a little bit or something like that. I don't know what to call this, but like there's a lot of
Battling.
yeah, there's some battling going on between Sony and the FTC now. Refusing to send them documents, refusing to send Xbox or Microsoft documents and all this kind of stuff.
You're harassing
It's
me.
harassment.
I mean, is this good for Microsoft, you think? Or no?
I don't think it's good for Sony. I think at this point, if they're going to try this delay tactic or keep on postponing sending in the paperwork for the subpoena, it's just going to put a bad or cast a bad shadow as far as what are they trying to hide or what are they trying to avoid at this point. I don't know if the FTC will get pissed off at them and then turn against them type of thing. I think Lena Khan is still set on trying to fight this no matter what. But yeah, Sony not cooperating is not helping matters at this point in time. And you know, Microsoft figures, well, there's got to be something in these contract documents and some of the emails to the executives as far as for contractual stuff and possibly bonuses or whatnot. Maybe some of that stuff will shed light on how Sony does their business to explain things to the FTC, why this isn't going to really, you know, hurt Sony nor hurt the gamers in general. But yeah, Sony, at some point they're going to have to return calls and turn in some paper or present some documents. And I think they're actually now starting to return calls after Kotick called them out on not returning stuff. So I don't know. It's just a mess.
I should issue a correction. The first Fable came out in 2004. There's a complete version, like definitive edition, that came out in 2005.
Oh, okay. 2024 then. September 20th. What was the release date?
The way they phrase that.
September 14th, 2004.
Oh, September 14th, 2024, everybody. Look out for it. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the way they phrased that, it seemed like they were just like we're talking to the team. We're like in contact with the team. Like right after Kotick was like, Sony's not answering our calls. I forgot how they phrase it exactly, but my whole thing with Sony and this whole situation is I feel like they damaged it. I feel like they damaged the relationship with Activision and Xbox, but I'm also on the side of this is business. Like the way I would run it is not necessarily how someone like Kotick would run it, because at the end they care about money and numbers, but that's what Sony is affecting is the money.
Correct. The shareholders' money.
The share, yes. So 70 something billion, right? So I feel like either way, if the deal goes through, you know, that's a great thing for Xbox. They put in Game Pass, you know, fantastic. If it doesn't go through, Sony is still screwed in a lot of different ways. Like I feel like
they're done.
They're done. Like if it goes through, they're screwed. It doesn't go through, they're screwed.
You're gonna literally tell all the people making the decisions at Activision, yeah, you can't have billions of dollars. You're gonna continue making it. I would not be surprised if you start seeing like, if it doesn't go through, if you start seeing huge intrusive deals going on with Microsoft, they're like, oh, you know, we attempted to get Call of Duty on the PlayStation this year, but the dev kit wouldn't work, and we just didn't feel like calling. So,
like, I don't think people realize that if the deal doesn't go through, Xbox could do what Sony is doing, and basically
with all their games.
With all their games. So instead of just buying the company and managing it through the studio way, they could be like, okay, we'll just make exclusive deals, kind of like what Sony is doing right now with this Call of Duty that is out right now, right? So whether that's exclusive deals, marketing deals.
Well, I think Microsoft
like,
even go to other
did you see
parties too?
The reporter that was interviewing Bobby Kotick is like, you made Xbox exclusive Resurgence map pack 30 days
like
free
10
on the
years
Xbox
ago?
Yeah, 15 fucking years ago. It's like, why are we bringing this shit up when PlayStation's had it for the last 10 years?
Yeah. I really wish in that interview he said like that was 10 something years ago, 15 years ago. Ever since then,
he probably
this new generation. I know, but I was thinking about it, like Kotick in that interview, like Sony has basically taken a hold of Call of Duty. Like 360 days, it was Microsoft, they had the marketing rights, but Sony has pretty much put a stronghold on that franchise for quite a while. Yeah. And I think the perception of people too, they will go where the marketing is, just based on Call of Duty in the past. Like Call of Duty has always been multi-plat, but it's all about like marketing. Like a lot of people are like, I've talked to some people in GameStop. I remember they were like, "Oh, isn't Call of Duty only on like PlayStation?" Like people have that mindset who aren't really the hardcore gamer, or maybe they just want those exclusive map packs. There's different reasons why the deal would be beneficial for.
It's also where
Microsoft.
like whatever console gets it, that's where the pros play on. So like when Xbox had it, they played on Xboxes. When PlayStation has it, they play on PlayStation now. So a lot of people like to try to be sweaty in Call of Duty, and they try to like act like the pros. So like they kind of just follow that too. It's just kind of that mentality.
Speaking from experience there, Jasper.
I don't have PlayStation. I stay on Xbox.
Like
the
last sweaty part.
I think it's safe. I think it's safe to say that even if they don't get this, if they don't buy this game, this company, that marketing rights is not being renewed with Sony. Like they're gonna get Call of Duty's marketing rights if they buy it or they don't buy it. I mean, obviously, for the foreseeable future, I see that happening until leadership changes at Activision. So it's just like, I think Sony even knows that they're screwed no matter what they do, but they're like, I'd rather be screwed with it always being on our platform than it not being on our platform. You know, it'd be crazy. If Activision is so salty if it gets denied, they just don't put it on the platform.
They should literally be begging Microsoft to buy fucking Activision right now, because like all Microsoft has to do is be like, you know what, we're not making this fucking game anymore. Fuck you. You all don't get the money. We're just gonna make something else. We can make another fucking game.
Part of the interesting thing was like even with the CMA, like talking about that, Jasper, like the CMA is like trying to get structural remedies with this thing, right? Like where they're trying to get like Call of Duty as like a separate company or sold off to another publisher or ran independently, right? Under a new
That's
company.
like saying Iron Man should be its own fucking studio. Like Iron Man's not a studio, it's a fucking movie.
Right, exactly. It's an IP. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what they're trying to do. And because I guess that's what the CMA's MO is. But however, I guess according to a lot of people now, like the fact that they left it open to behavioral remedies is a big deal. But imagine a world where it was structural, right? And like that only happened in the UK though, right? Because the EU doesn't necessarily have to do the same thing that the UK does, like with the CMA. Like the EU and the EC, they could be like, yeah, we're gonna accept these other remedies, right? And then the only country left having like this issue with Call of Duty would be the UK.
Then they just wouldn't publish it there.
That would be a possibility, or they just create a separate little company within the UK, right, and have it run by an independent group, or
they create a port studio or something,
or they like co-publish it with like somebody else or something with a partner in the UK.
I said this on the Addict show. You know what they do? They shut up those Azure servers to Azure servers to Sony's platform. When they call customer service, like, yo, you know, our network's not working, they're like, oh yeah, sure. Then they look, there's a note here. This is called Phil Spencer. Like,
right?
we can't touch this until you get that resolved. Like,
it's like Sony is.
Oh, it turns out you took your credit card information off, so we got to ban your account. You can't contact
Sony has gotten way too far, like, to even go back now. Like, even if they wanted to like repair some of these relationships, I don't know. Like you're trying to shut down the $70 billion deal, and
that you didn't put a penny into.
And you're literally flying to the UK and different places to try to get this deal shut down, and then you're complaining that when Xbox finally does something, that like, oh, you're harassing us. Like,
yeah, well, you got to think
know.
like Sony, like for them, they've been building their whole business off of COD for like a decade, right?
I know.
So like for them, they're like, oh shit, like we've been investing in this thing because it's our identity now, and now it's going to be gone. So that's why they're playing this hard with this thing.
It wouldn't be gone if they would sign the fucking 10-year deal with Microsoft.
That's true, but they don't care, Jasper, and they don't want the regulators to understand that. You know, like
I was going to say, I think it's bigger than that. I think Sony knows that the biggest thing that's important that they won't admit to is they don't care about Call of Duty as a whole. They care about that money Call of Duty brings in, but they want they want to maintain that marketing with Call of Duty.
The brand
they're going to lose like fucking 10 million people.
But my whole thing is, do you think like they would still have that marketing now?
No, they wouldn't. But the thing is they their only hope at this point is to cancel the deal so they can have some form. Because if Microsoft buys it, they will never get it back. But if they can cancel it, like I said, change the leadership, they palm the right, grease at the right hands. That could happen in the future. Right. But right now, if Microsoft buys it, there's zero they can do to fix that. They will never get the marketing right for that game ever again.
Do we still feel like Call of Duty will be relevant in like 10 years?
I don't know. That's the whole dumb thing to me about this deal. Like, yeah, you can do a 10-year deal, but what's to stop them from doing like a spin-off or just like
it'll have its up and downs, but it'll be around.
Soldier of Fortune.
Yeah, Microsoft will agree. We'll put Call of Duty on your platform for 10 years, and then they sign the deal, and they do nothing but reboot old games to put on the platform.
Right.
Well, rumor and news coming out now, according to rumors from like Tom Henderson and stuff, is that next year's COD is going to be another standalone now, whereas before it was going to be premium add-on content for $70 still, but now it's gonna be a standalone Call of Duty for $70. So I feel like there's still like Call of Duty still in that place where they're just mishmashing some shit together to get a title out every year.
I wonder if it's because like I don't think Modern Warfare retained the amount of players they wanted, so now they're gonna try to like whatever that DLC was going to be, they're going to spin it off into its own game.
Everybody plays Warzone now. I mean,
yeah, but still, the retention of players that like they've had from Warzone 1 and stuff, it's like down like 50%.
It's sort of like Warzone 2 has a lot less players than Warzone 1.
Yeah.
So they think Sledgehammer is going to build the magic bullet to fix that?
Yeah. All our chips are on Sledgehammer games. Let's roll the dice on that.
I'm assuming it's the same DLC, but they're just going to market it as a new game to try to get more new people in again.
Right. They're starting the hype up again. Yeah. Exactly. That's what Mav and I talked about last night. I just still don't picture how this is all going to fit in with Modern Warfare 2. Like if they're legit try to come out and say this is Modern Warfare 3, come on, man, this is going to be ugly.
Or just make it like its own Modern Warfare experience that Sledgehammer made. That's like a different modern military shooter.
Yeah, I called it Modern Warfare Strike Force.
Yeah, Strike Force. Yeah, Mav was coming up the most generic names all time last night.
It's going to be.
I think this is just to fulfill the contract. Like I don't even think that.
Maybe that's it, Fuzz.
I think this is Activision basically saying, "Screw you, Sony. We're done with you. There's not going to be any loopholes that you could say, oh, well, we didn't deliver 3 games in a certain amount of time." True. They just figured turn this DLC or extended content into a full-fledged game that ticks off another box, one less year of having to deal with Sony anymore. So this is like a FU to Sony.
You know what Activision should do, and I don't know if they would ever do this. If they're serious about Microsoft getting the okay by everyone to buy it, they should say, look, I don't care what this deal goes through. If people block this, we're gonna sign. We're gonna go through all the correct orders and all the correct law documents, and we're just gonna state publicly that we're not releasing Call of Duty on PlayStation anymore. Right. So it doesn't matter what you say because it's never going to be on that damn platform again.
Yeah. I have a question. The documents that Microsoft asked for, if they get them, if they're like actually subpoenaed, is there a chance that those go public at some point?
Yeah.
Oh, most likely, yeah.
Like the federal one, if it goes federal,
lock it
maybe,
down. The judge could lock it down, right?
I would just love to see Jim Ryan's performance review. I'm just asking for that. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see what they have to say about Jim Ryan, like internally. You know what I mean? Like, because they asking for the performance reviews, like that was crazy. That I saw that was in there. Like,
wonder why they're asking that.
Just to be assholes, I think.
Well, part of it, yes. Part of it is to be assholes, but I think there is validity to what they said, which was that those performance reviews of the higher ups would include console performance markers. Yeah. So that's a basis for a lot of the argument. So that's why they want to see them, because those would definitely
to show that PlayStation is still number one in the gaming industry.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, because they may like have different little accomplishments within there. Right. That they don't make public. Right.
And the crazy part is they keep delaying that. Like it's like they're hiding something. Like they know that is a huge card that Microsoft could use, and they're like, "We're gonna." I'm curious if they're trying to delay it because we know that Microsoft has to pay extra money how long this goes on. And they, maybe they're like, look, you're gonna take it, but we're gonna cost you some money. We're like, this isn't gonna be cheap. We're like,
well, if this is a battle of checkbooks, Microsoft's gonna win hand over fist over Sony, right? Like, I feel like Sony isn't really prepared for the battle that they started, right?
And I think they know that too.
Yeah.
Psycho, were you gonna say something?
No, I was Sony's just sitting there shredding documents, going. Full,
Is that what they're doing right now?
Full,
the fires are lit. We should look at the chimneys on Sony
full Enron. They're
headquarters.
going full Enron right now.
Like we talked about too, Mav. They might not want those documents in the hands of these regulators because, as we talked about, they've opened Pandora's box, and they might win this battle, but they might actually cause a war because now the regulators know about the industry. And now the regulators are going to start messing around with people. They can come back and say, so Sony, you went ahead and you proved your case and we backed you on the whole Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. But guess what? We found out some stuff that we're not so sure about. Those exclusivity deals you guys got going on. Those don't seem too consumer friendly. We want to take a look at those. There's a lot that could come into questions. Again, this industry has been under the radar for a very long time for how big it is. It's dynamic because of that, because the regulators have stayed out of it, except for, like I said, the ratings thing that we had decades ago. Yeah, that was decades ago. They've been under the radar. Nobody's paid attention to them. Now they're going to be paid attention to. I'm sure there's some companies out there like Take-Two and stuff that are going, Sony, shut the fuck up, man. What are you guys doing out here? You're going to bring some heat on all of us if you keep this up.
And we've heard
interesting.
How public Strauss Zelnick from he's been fully on board with Microsoft,
right?
Getting Activision Blizzard, right?
Because he knows it's dynamic. You don't want the government messing with something that's still growing and evolving. Again, this whole concept that they're trying to say, well, cloud gaming could be dominated by Microsoft. We don't even know if cloud gaming's ever going to work. Like, we don't even know if that's going to become a prime way to play games, right?
VR gaming could be dominated by Sony.
Yeah. Right. It would only take one move. All of a sudden, Sony could have some big tech that shows up that's leaps and bounds better than everybody else in cloud gaming. Don't think that would ever happen, but you don't know. And that's what's dynamic. That's why you don't want the government messing around in here. But Sony is bringing the heat on everybody right now because the regulators are really getting to see the inner workings. And those documents that Sony doesn't want to turn over could lead to more questions about what's going on.
It's like if they hand over those documents, they're handing them a playbook about everything they've been complaining about Microsoft trying to do. And they're showing them, hey, all the stuff we've been telling you we don't want Microsoft to be able to do? Well, here's the evidence that we've been doing this for the last 20 years in the industry, right? And they can't I feel like they can't hand it over because they're signing their own death warrant. I
just pictured Nintendo being like, hey, you're about to go into a 5-hour court meeting. Here's a Switch. You want to buy this? And it's just selling people fucking Switches while this shit's going on. They don't even give a fuck.
Who wants to buy a Switch? Nobody.
Well, there's 150 million of them out there.
I know there's a lot of people that want to buy that stupid ass thing. Sorry, I'm still reeling over the Nintendo Direct and just not seeing anything exciting or new. You guys were co-streaming Nintendo Direct, Addict. Did you like the show?
It just wasn't for me. I know a lot of people that did like it. That's cool, I guess.
You got a shadow drop of a remaster.
Yeah, and that's cool too. But it's just I guess these days I want shock value, and I don't feel like I get that anymore. And maybe that's not their fault. I'm told a lot of things behind closed doors. Jeff Grubb leaked the Metro thing years ago. It feels like this point. So it's we knew that was coming eventually. Oh, now it's here. Now we knew it's here. It's just I wanted something that I cared about. And Metro, it's cool and all, but it's not what I was wanting from that particular show.
Yeah,
I gave up of what I actually want from Nintendo. I gave up a while ago. I don't think they're ever gonna bring it. I don't know. What I want out of Nintendo is just a new console, please. Just something. Just because they rely so much on their style, or use style as an excuse to have
it's timeless. It's timeless.
It's like this long grass with no texture or tiling textures, and I just can't.
20
I can't
frames per
anymore.
second. It's timeless. It's
Yeah, and then
beyond
I
timeless.
see what amazes me is the amount of people that like are diehard Nintendo fans.
Oh, yeah.
I like, for some reason, I knew there was like Nintendo fans, but when I saw like the Legend of Zelda like this tweets and stuff, I was like, wow, it is intense. Like, they don't care if it's 15 frames per second.
Did you watch the IGN reactions? Their panel that
No.
they had, their Nintendo fan panel that they have? Bro, they were completely they were like talking about, they're like, well, we know that there's going to be some scenes in the forest where this probably drops down to 15, 20 frames, but I don't care. It's Zelda. It's Zelda. I'm like, oh my God.
And what, you know what's killed me?
Yeah.
What are they really showing Zelda? Let's be realistic here. They showed us
DLC, bro.
a game that we knew what they's like, okay, here's Zelda. This is what you thought the game was going to look like. Guess what? It looks like that. See next
Right.
week.
But
Like,
you can drive a car in this one.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you pinpointed exactly why I don't get excited for anything at these shows, because everything looks exactly the same as it has for like the last 10 years, right? And
20
there's no
years.
20 years. Yeah, there's no involvement past this whatsoever. They got frozen in time at a certain point. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Oh no, here we go.
They got frozen. They
You
got
did this
frozen
last
in
night.
time at a certain point, and they were just like, we're cool to stay here. We'll just continue to make more profit on our hardware over time and sell it like hotcakes. And people seem to like this, so we're just going to keep doing that.
that's why, you know, a lot of people, you can say what you want about Microsoft, but at least they're like changing stuff up. Sure, you can, okay, I need to see games, but at least I know, like, now it comes to like a Microsoft event, I honestly don't know what the hell gonna happen. Like, because they got so much stuff that they can show. But like Nintendo and PlayStation, you could pretty much exactly call like
What
bar for bar what they're gonna do.
Everything from Microsoft does kind of usually surprise you. You're right. What's up, Psycho?
Here's another third-person over-shoulder action Avenger with a bow and arrow game.
Well,
People are gonna be like,
With a
Ghost of
companion.
Tsushima 2. We knew that was there. What?
God of War remaster for PS5. Yes.
The funny
Horizon
thing
Forbidden
is,
West remaster.
Okay. Microsoft used to get called out like this with Halo, because Halo's still Halo, Halo's still Halo. But you really
Halo,
think
Gears,
about
Forza.
it, if you really think about it, like each Halo was a massive improvement over the last one in various many ways. But a lot of these sequels for other games, like especially from Sony and Nintendo, look like the same damn game. You know what I mean? And Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I bet Spider-Man 2 is going to look exactly like those, right? God of War Ragnarok, exactly the same. Now, I'm not saying there's necessarily anything wrong with that. It's just not as exciting, right? As when you see something that's taken like 5 years and you see like a clear evolution of it. And like we got that with Halo 1, 2, and 3 and Reach. You know, those games are very different.
Halo
from
1,
another,
Halo 2, Halo 3 are very different from each other.
But we used to, back in the day, we're like, well, we just want Halo to evolve. It's the same. Like,
That's why
it evolve actually more than most games.
That's
You know
why
what
I
I
don't
mean?
mind if Halo goes to Unreal, because every Halo feels different. So like it just be a different feeling Halo.
I mean, I've kind of moved on past that. I feel like the Halo I've always known and loved, right, is now it's dead and gone. At this
I
point.
actually feel like the reason that 343 were never able to capitalize on anything is because they were trying to make everyone else's Halo, not their Halo. They were trying, you guys don't like the made changes we made to 4, let's change it. Oh, you don't like the changes we made to 5, let's change it. Like, I feel like they never gave anything enough time to really like capitalize on anything. It was always the moment fans didn't like it, they would change it almost immediately.
But I think that's because of Bonnie Ross was in charge there for so long. Because if you even heard her in the interviews, like with Ryan McCaffrey on Unlocked and stuff, or on Unfiltered, his podcast that he did with interviews and stuff, she was like, well, you know, people didn't like the multiplayer in 4, but they liked the story. And then she was like, and people didn't like the campaign in 5, but they liked the multiplayer. So I feel like in Infinite, we're going to get everything right because we made the changes, listen to, you know what I mean? It's like they're constantly listening to the feedback, you're right, and like changing things, which is what you want to an extent. But I always kind of felt like the games were the best when you have a clear creative vision at top and you just lead that direction. And it's like block out the noise and just make what you want to make. And guess what? Some of them are going to hit, some of them are not. But that's how you get games like Hi-Fi Rush, right? Because like they just fucking made the game. You know what I mean? And it's like now everybody loves it.
I remember, I won't go into detail, but I was kind of given like a timeline, like what the original storyline was supposed to be on Halo 5 before they had to redo everything after Halo 5. And it's just like, why did we get that? Like, it's just frustrating because I get it. I felt like Halo 5 was a good balance between both. Like, you know, if you were running, your shields didn't recover. If you got shot at ADS for just about doing anything, like I felt like they did a good job meeting the middle ground. And, you know, they got a lot of backlash over how they did the single player. It's like, then do something different with the single player. Like don't change everything because your fan base didn't like it. And, you know, maybe it was a lot of the games as a service, you know, can't really build a games as a service if you're still building off the prior stuff that you already had. So,
well, the main thing with Halo 5's campaign, I think, is people like the whole marketing thing. They were just lied to the whole fucking thing leading up to it. And then when you got to play the campaign, you're like, what the fuck is this? Why am I playing as Locke? I thought I was gonna be playing as Master Chief, like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. No, you're playing as Locke looking at Master Chief's ass the whole fucking time. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that podcast of Hunt the Truth was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And then I think the fact that in that show, it was like a radio show for those who haven't listened to it.
Radio? What's radio?
It's like a podcast type thing. And it was like a storyline that was going on during the events of Halo 5, and it was kind of building up this moment of Oni secrets and leading up to this big battle with Agent Locke. And then when you play the game, it's like a 20-30 second cutscene.
You get 3 missions with Master Chief, and then the rest is Locke.
Like
it's like, who the fuck is this new character? I don't want to fucking play as this dude.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole other conversation. I think Halo is I've always said this. It's one of those IPs where it should be treated kind of like a Star Wars or where you just have different genres of a game. It's like such a big universe where you need to really take advantage of that. Like get a third person Halo game, get you know, you have a first person, but maybe have it more like ODST where it's focus on Marines, focus on those horror moments that used to be in the earlier Halos with the flood. Like there's so much you can do.
There's so many like pitch spin-off games that they've had like over the years that have come out. Like there was a Mega Bloks game and stuff like that. Like it may not be for everyone's cup of tea, but like there was plans for spin-off games. They just always got shut down.
Yeah. So I'm hoping with the rumored game from Creative Assembly that they're doing something unique and pushing the franchise a little bit. And I really like that developer too. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I was really disappointed with the whole live service. Like I was pretty outspoken when it came out, where when you build a game around live service and then you don't finish your game, like first have a base of what a game is and then add like a live service, because there's so many examples of a game coming out where it's half done, and we in this time frame where there's so many other games out there where people could just jump from Halo to Call of Duty or some other game. You can't do that anymore. You have to have a solid game to keep people playing. And once you have the solid game, then introduce whatever you want, skins and stuff. I don't have a problem with skins and all that. I buy skins and all that all the time. But when you're having a game like Halo, and the previous entries has been known to have theater mode, has been known to have Forge, and
it's also difficult for Halo because like the past Halos, like you've had all the armor unlocked, or you could at least unlock it in the game, and now you're forcing people to, like, if they want to make their own Spartan, like be them, they have to pay for it. It's like, no.
And too many games have like 10-year plan. How many times have we heard 10-year plan and then the game fails? Right? Like Anthem,
I've only heard 10-year plan, I think twice.
Destiny
1 and
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite.
And Anthem.
Anthem said 10-year
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
I think
Oh
so.
my god, that's horrible. They were the worst offenders. That's like
They said that for Destiny 1, and then they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna make Destiny
And
2.
then
you know?
Activision bought them, and then Activision wanted more money out of them, so they forced Destiny to do microtransactions and season passes and all that. And then Bungie finally got pissed off and then broke away again, and then sold to Bungie, or then sold to Sony.
Yeah. That's always been like a pet peeve of mine. Like, have a solid game, have the features that people want, because there used to be like a standard, like to even add any microtransactions in the game, like people used to be a little more strong on, like, if you're gonna have microtransactions in a game, if it's free to play, just make sure the game is like solid before you add anything.
Well, that's
Now
the
it's kinda
problem.
like-
These people are trying to force games as a service when you need to capture that magic first and then make your games as a service. You can't.
I mean, that's
like,
but that's just the industry as it is now. Like, I think people are more accepting of those things. It's just, most developers are going to add it. That's just how it is now. My whole thing is just, have a solid game with a lot of features day one, and then people will stay there. And then when you add content, people feel more valued. And
I didn't mean to send this on a Halo tangent. Apologize. I brought it up like because I was trying to compare like how like I feel like all those games have evolved and stuff, and like some other games are the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I do like agree with like Addict and stuff about them at least trying with Xbox to do different stuff, right? And it's something else that they may be trying to do. Shout out to Skullsy, who was one of the first people, maybe the first, to spot Hi-Fi Rush originally. He's been on this other thing about this other name being trademarked with Bethesda lately, Spy Team. 3-bit, what's Spy Team?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm a fucking liar. All right. Like, this sounds pretty cool, though. Y'all remember there was like a Rockstar game that got canceled way back in the day called like Agent, I think.
Agent.
Mhm.
Agent, yeah, forever. Yeah, that was supposed to be huge, right? That was supposed to be like PlayStation 3, I think that started.
Yeah. PlayStation exclusive.
Y'all
Yeah.
think this could
Maybe
be...
they're remaking Spy versus Spy, where you had like a little black and white like spy dude, and you just like ran around multiplayer levels like killing each other.
Oh man, I used to play that too. What did I play that on? Was that on Genesis? Yeah, that was on Genesis.
I think it was like
Spy.
original OG Xbox, PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
1,
I had it on
something.
Genesis back in the
Spy
day.
Team to me sounds like something multiplayer, right? Focus.
Yeah.
This
could be ZeniMax's Online's game too.
The new IP?
Yes. Because this started back in 2018. The first trademark showed up for Spy Team in 2018.
Well,
It's
I was
been 5
thinking
years.
maybe Roundhouse Games.
Could be Roundhouse,
game,
yeah.
because
we know ZeniMax has been working on one for 4 to 5 years, right? So
that's a good thought.
Yeah.
I just putting it out there because like Skullsy was right about Hi-Fi Rush, and he spotted this, and it just got registered again, like in other territories or something, right? So, Hi-Fi Rush came out and it became a real thing. If these things are getting updated more, maybe there's going to be an announcement this year of this game, right? Which would also kind of add to credibility about the ZeniMax stuff, right? Because I think they were maybe going to announce that game this year, whatever it is, if it was ZeniMax Online or Roundhouse Games game, I would think would be about ready to announce as well, because when they did the whole ZeniMax Bethesda intro at that time, and they sat down, y'all remember the meeting where they had like Todd Howard and Pete Hines and like I forget the lady's name, but she was like in charge of marketing also there with Bethesda, and they went around and they kind of introduced all the studio heads and stuff like that. They didn't have anybody from Roundhouse there, but they mentioned Roundhouse and like said they're excited about a big new project that they're working on, right? So I feel like this could either be one of those two things, but you never know. What if it's like something from id, right? Or like something off the wall, like crazy. I don't know. Have you heard about this game at all, Addict? Out there? I'm thinking this is going to be a multiplayer thing, man. Something that's been in the works for a while. So maybe we'll get an E3 announcement That's what I would bet on.
We could. I remember when we had Insane Cakes on, and he's
Yeah.
you know, he couldn't talk, but he said, "I'm excited for what
Yeah.
is coming up." Right? You should all be excited for what Bethesda's got going on.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
bet
it'll be
was-
something similar to like a Spies versus Mercs.
Yeah, and he works for ZeniMax Online.
yeah, correct.
Right. So you may be onto something with the whole spy team thing because, you know, shout out to Insane Cakes. Maybe that's why 3-Bit had a smirk a little while ago. You know what I mean? I don't know.
He's got a bad poker face.
Yeah, he does.
I'm trying to think of what franchise that they own that could like fit into. Like it could be a new IP, but I'm
I think
thinking
it's
if it
new IP.
wasn't, like I'm trying to think of what it could fit in. Like the only thing I'm coming up with is maybe Wolfenstein.
Maybe. What it was was it Bethesda that had that like multiplayer game a long time ago? Was it called Brink? Was that Bethesda?
That was
They published it, but
Yeah.
I think they published it, but I don't think it was theirs.
okay.
I could be wrong.
There was
I don't
like
think it was theirs.
that was
I
like
love
a
Brink.
that was like
Brink was
a
amazing.
hero style shooter in a way, kind of. I like interesting. Like I don't remember everything about it, but it had like slide mechanics
that was
and
ama-
shit.
Yeah, the slide mechanics
Yeah.
were amazing. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
fun, but there was like spy kind of characters in that too, a little bit. Some of the they had like different kinds of characters you could choose from. I don't know, spy team. Look at. I just wanted to mention that. But I want to get into the meat and potatoes, our thumbnail for this show. I haven't asked Addict what he thinks about this. I know.
Yeah,
so we got Psycho here with the Marchers Unite hashtag on his name. He's fully on board for March, right?
He's a convert. He's a late.
He is a convert, right?
Yes.
I feel like there's been people lately converting to earlier that were on the November-October train. And I also feel like there's more fuel coming out recently. Supposedly there's some emails going out or whatever to some people in the community. I don't know if it's like Starfield related stuff or
It
what.
could be a million different things.
It could be a million different things. But also, I have some feelings that maybe this week we're going to get the Starfield deep dive announcement. Maybe even something at the Super Bowl on Sunday. Who knows? It would be very interesting if we get that. If it happens, though, if we get a Super Bowl commercial, right? If we get the Starfield deep dive next 2 weeks at least, this game's coming out March or April. Also, Skullsy, shout out to him again. Released a new video today, and y'all remember that whole Chinese picture taken in China where that Xbox Series X had the Starfield art on it, right? Well, it's like that picture's 100% legit. That came from like
that came over in a Chinese spy balloon. Oh,
yeah, that fell out of the balloon when they shot it down. Yeah. So that picture turned out to be 100% legitimate from a manufacturing place in China, right? And it turns out like people were adding in, okay, shout out to Skullsy on his video. People familiar with the manufacturing process and how this stuff works were saying from the line where they actually start manufacturing those things to where they usually hit U.S. store shelves, usually around 6 to 8 weeks. And that picture was taken in January sometime.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So, adding all this up, Addict, are you a Marcher? Are you a Juner? Where are you for Starfield?
I don't know. Like it's the thing is like I'm always told different things. It feels like every week I don't even think Microsoft knows currently. I think they're aiming to try to get before the 6 months, but I don't know if they'll ultimately get it done. If I haven't really talked to anyone about like emails or anything going out. I think I'm about to send some DMs to see what the hell you guys are talking about.
Well, there's some things I saw on Twitter today. I was like, what are they talking about? And maybe they're just playing with people, right? Maybe they're just playing with people. But, Cold Eastwood had one. Grub put out a weird question today. They just said Monday.
Yeah.
Yes or no? And today's like, I would understand if it was a Monday, you're saying, hey, do you guys like Mondays? But today's fucking Friday.
He could be talking about the PlayStation Showcase announcement too.
He could. There's a lot of things it could be.
Broke that too.
But Colt put like, oh, my emails or whatever, and he had like starry eyes face. right?
Mhm.
I remember somebody else saying something about, oh man, like the exciting stuff.
ACG.
Also, Jez was like, holy crap, all these games, there's a lot of great stuff I'm playing right now, you know what I mean, that I can't talk about, but like, holy shit, like everything, like a lot of great games are still on the way. You know what I mean? Like, there's just like all these little tiny things are starting to like add up to like feed into our little march.
Just your personal
Piggy
feelings,
bank.
Attic. If you had to guess personally without knowing anything, what would you think? You think it gets done by June? It sounds like you're leaning June at the earliest. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm leading July.
July? Okay.
July.
That's what I was originally told like 6-7 months ago. But then May came up a couple times. Like I think Microsoft might have more of an idea of when it's coming out, but I think up until recently, the way it's sounding, they didn't know where it was coming.
Okay.
And you know, obviously too, you got to look at maybe they didn't know where other games were going either.
Right.
And they didn't want to put a date on something until they did on something else, like Forza.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How long before a game goes gold before it usually releases?
I have no clue. That'd probably be for the dev and the
usually
team.
you hear about like a month before,
Month.
like when games
Yeah,
go
it's usually
gold.
Isn't it 3-bit?
month,
Month?
like a month, 2 months.
2 months? Yeah.
Well,
something
that
like
is there times when games go gold that it isn't made public that it's gone gold?
Yes.
Yeah, all
Right.
the time.
The term
Like
gone
Hi-Fi
gold
Rush
is kind of
yeah.
outdated at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the term gone gold, I mean, it could mean a lot of things now.
Gold
nowadays.
used to mean it was like permanent. Like that's it. Like
It's
Right.
what's going to
game's
be
not
printed
getting
on the
fixed.
disc.
We fixed everything. It's done.
Didn't
Now that doesn't-
wasn't there a game that went gold and still got delayed? What was that game?
Yes. Oh, what was that?
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk, I think.
Cyberpunk.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Cyberpunk. I think. Yeah, Cyberpunk went gold and got delayed after it went gold. I
Well,
think
we
it
can
said.
tell why that happened at this point. So
Oh, yeah, last gen. Yeah, it was bad. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think there's more. Again, whether you believe, all I care about is the first 6 months. We've talked about it. So at the end of the day, as long as they hit the first 6 months, I don't care. Obviously, I want it early as possible. That's why I'm a marcher, because I do believe there's a chance that Todd gets his way. I believe that a lot of the stuff that's being thrown out there, like Attic is saying, with all these people, you know, things behind the scenes, people don't seem to know for sure, different dates being thrown out there. I think that all could be a lot of smoke from Microsoft, that they do want to surprise everybody with this, being that this is the biggest game they've launched, as we've all talked about. Most of us believe since Halo CE that this is going to be huge. So I think they might want to keep this as a surprise, and they're throwing out a bunch of nonsense to try to throw people off. So
you know, it'd
we'll
be
see.
crazy, and I know they would never do this because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But if they just like, you know what, fuck it, we ain't marketing nothing. We ain't
Yeah.
So
we ain't
crazy, it
announcing
might
anything.
just work.
Yeah.
We ain't announcing anything. We're gonna show. We're gonna randomly do a thing, and it's like Starfield. It's out right now.
Right.
Like,
And Todd would love to do that. He
Yeah.
said that in interviews. He said he realizes for marketing purposes doesn't work, but that's his ultimate dream. And like I said, him and Phil are friends. And Bethesda does have a lot more sway now that they're not underneath the shareholders. And we saw that with Hi-Fi Rush. Todd only has so much longer in this industry. Maybe Phil gives him his wish and lets him do something crazy.
imagine if Starfield got shadow dropped. That
Oh,
would
God,
that
it
would
just-
be the craziest shit that's ever happened.
Oh yeah.
They would
By far.
break the
Be
Xbox
a mass
server.
sickness across the globe. That
Yeah,
Xbox
the
Live
servers
would go down. Xbox Live would
Xbox
go
will be
down.
done.
Right. It would. It would break the internet. The internet would be on fire, and
It would
Xbox-
break the internet, and then the internet would break Xbox Live trying
Right.
to download Starfield.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. All at one time.
It's gonna be fucking huge, man. Like when it drops, like regardless when it drops,
That's what she said.
I mean, I mean, unless like cancel culture tries to get a hold of this, or the hive mind mentality of negativity tries to grab it, like happens in some franchises and games. I don't see that happening with this one though. I feel like
because we know rockets were invented by a certain group of individuals back in the day in the World War II, so we got to cancel it.
oh, yes.
Like how I was thinking like how could
Oh
he
my
cancel
God.
this? I don't know.
well, because like that, you know what I mean. Like they'll be like, somebody says like, "Oh, this game is bad" or whatever. Now the next reviewer has to piggyback off of that one, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like,
Oh, the 1,000 Planets is overwhelming.
But that's why the reviewers aren't going to get their copy.
the game rants
I've
of the
still been
world.
saying that.
Yeah.
They're not going to get their copies early. This is
well,
going to go out.
that they'll be like, oh, we're complaining and we're not going to give it a good score because of that. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's bullshit with journalism and stuff out there. But I think this game again. I'm going to say it. I think it's going to have twice as many players, at least, as God of War Ragnarok within the first 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Which everybody thinks how big that game is, right? That's why I'm using it. I'm not using that as a reference to shit on PlayStation. I'm using that as a reference to equate to how big Starfield's going to be.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's going to be, it's going to be massive because it's on more places to play.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the benefit of it. And also, you lower the barrier of entry to get access to the damn game. That's the whole point of it, right?
Yo, I know this would be very fucked up, and this is just the petty end of me. But imagine if they're like, it's on every platform, including PlayStation. You downloaded Starfield on PlayStation, and it's Skyrim. They're like, yeah, you said you wanted Skyrim in space. Like,
no, just be No Man's
wrong file.
Or you start the file on Starfield for PlayStation, and it links to an Xbox page.
Oh, yeah, or it links to YouTube. It links to YouTube.
You know, it goes to the fucking web browser and launches it in the cloud on Xbox.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, dude. I think Starfield's gonna be big. March,
so
April.
What's the over or under on seeing something special during like a halftime, Super Bowl commercial or something?
Like I said yesterday, Rihanna's gonna do her whole concert to Starfield music in the background.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy if they showed the release date during the Super Bowl.
Matt brought that up last night, Addict. He said that like Todd comes out there and does like an intro, and they do a trailer, like a special trailer during the Super Bowl, and then they have the release date. Like the release date at the Super Bowl.
I'll say this: if they do have a commercial at the Super Bowl for Starfield, it is a wasted opportunity not to have the release date.
Yeah.
If you have the most watched event of the year on television, that many eyes, everybody watching it, and you have this epic trailer, and then you don't have the release date. A release date's
the release date's going to get hyped for the gamers, but like a lot of football fans, they can be both, but I would assume like a majority of the Super Bowl market's probably not necessarily that.
Sony's going to be there with God of War.
Yeah, all the Super Bowl parties, all the Super Bowl parties, there'll be one gamer in every single one of those fucking Super Bowl parties, and they'll be like, "Holy shit!" And everybody will be like, "What's going on, man? What the fuck's happening?" No fucking Starfield, man. They dropped the fucking release date. What's Starfield? Let me tell you. You know God Howard is?
Hey, I'm gonna take it further than that. You're sitting there, Rihanna gets off the stage, and the stage comes up, and it's Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
He's like, we're announcing Starfield right now.
Right here at the Super Bowl.
He's like, shine bright like an Xbox. Shine bright like an Xbox. The fucking dude. Like it would be crazy.
Talking about a SpaceX rocket and they just landed on the field.
Yeah. Why not?
Marketing.
and then Todd Howard cut out.
And the people on the rocket come out and just start smashing a PS5 with a hammer.
You know what though? You remember there was like some I don't remember if it was a national college national championship game or something, but I remember watching a sporting event. And they had like an augmented reality, like fucking Pelican from Halo land on the field.
For Halo. Yeah.
You remember that?
That was during college. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a college football championship game. So they've done.
That's what I was talking about last night. That's what I talked about last night. Doing that augmented reality on the field. It'd be so cool. To have the Starfield ship like land. Right, and then it opens up. And Todd Howard comes out. Todd Howard comes out.
But you got to have the dry ice cloud of smoke.
Right, smoke.
I'm proud to be here at the Super Bowl in 16 times the detail.
You're right. Yeah, it just works. It just works. It would be amazing. Yeah, Mav did a good job spending the entire marketing campaign money on one show.
And then I got to make it worse, man. And then Phil Spencer is about to leave, and he's like, "Oh, and just so you guys know, under your seat, everyone gets Series X's.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like Oprah.
It's an Oprah moment.
Yeah, and then like
you get a Series X.
and then the
You get a
fans of
Series
like a
X.
losing team and a bad call to start throwing the fucking Xboxes on the field. Oh, you piece of shit.
No, they start like every time there's like a touchdown, the other team hits the other team with a PS5.
There you go.
So Jim Ryan's in the audience. He's just like,
Oh my god.
It's like, how did they pull this off? Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, we can
it-
get something big.
they
we
could. Well, I'll be watching the Super Bowl the whole time, and if I don't see a Starfield commercial, I'm like, what a fucking wasted opportunity. I'll feel like the Game Awards. Like, I
You're
watched
gonna
the
see
Game
God of War
Awards.
Ragnarok though.
Yeah,
That'll be
yeah.
good.
I think the Halo show was announced at the Super Bowl like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So Xbox
Yeah.
has been there
It's
before.
been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just saying, right? Like, it could happen. We'll see.
I'll,
Right?
I'll have that feeling because on Game Awards, I had like such a disappointing feeling that Xbox was not there. I was like,
Right.
that was
Yeah. I'm just watching sporting events for gaming news now. Purely, that's the only
Yeah,
reason I'm watching the Super Bowl. Right.
That's a bad idea. That's a setup for
What
disappointment.
what gaming trailers are we gonna get during the Super Bowl? You know, that's crazy. But yeah, I think we could get some. If it happens tomorrow, though, if we get that commercial, the game's coming out sooner than later.
Wait,
I
is
feel
Super
like.
Bowl tomorrow?
Super
Sunday.
Bowl tomorrow.
I'm Sunday. Sorry, I'm a
Sunday.
day
Sunday.
early.
Sunday.
Whatever. Days missed.
Sunday.
Oh wow!
Yeah, if it happens, we're getting it in March or April.
Look out for
Spring.
an Affleck ad.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah,
we
was
go.
one of yours 3
Oh, is that when they're gonna
I
show
think
Starfield?
so.
You think so?
Psycho trying to get me. One of my ads might be there, so look out for a duck. And I don't know which ad they're gonna go for yet, but it could be.
Do you do all the duck animation?
Yeah.
That's all you?
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's freaking amazing.
So if you see a CG duck, you're like, okay, that's 3-bit.
Then we know who to blame.
Yeah. If you don't like it, you know what to
Hey,
blame.
this duck's not
You know,
realistic, yo.
Yeah, I thought this commercial was great 3-bit, but the animation on the duck was a little bad. You know, everybody else did great, but the duck just seemed so fake to me. It didn't seem realistic.
Yeah, I saw you make like a behind the scenes video where you like dancing and like mocapping it to the duck or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, if it's bad, then you'd be like, hey, 3-bit. I was like, I was playing Hogwarts. I'm sorry. I could have made it better.
3-bit. What was the green screen picture that you put up on Twitter? What was that?
It's for a show.
For a Starfield
for-
show.
No, the next developer.
It's for something.
The next
Yeah.
constellation.
it's one of those like little short videos where they do like they interview somebody who's like 3-bit's like, yeah, I was just sitting out here on Mars, and then all of a sudden there was a spaceship that just attacked. Where they do like a fake storyline.
You're excommunicated if I find out you worked on Starfield and you didn't tell us. You're done. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. You're
No,
banned from
I'm
fun
done.
speculation.
No, I've seen
I know.
Starfield, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I haven't played it or anything. I really
Mhm.
want to.
Mhm.
How does Todd Howard's leather jacket smell?
you know what's
Like
funny?
a billion bucks.
We always
Brand
assume
new.
that's the same jacket, but he opens his
Yeah.
closet. He's got like 50 of
All
them
the
just
same-
lined
the
up.
same,
Same,
ones.
bro.
Yep, exactly.
This is the Tuesday.
He walks
Rips off the
downstairs.
tags off
He-
of
he
the one
walks-
every time.
He walks downstairs and he's got a wall dedicated to ones he wore for certain events, like the Starfield one.
He's
The,
got like the used game jerseys. Instead, he's got
Yeah.
his used leather jackets framed.
Starfield launch 2023, March 23rd. Jacket framed right there.
That'd be a new
Um,
developer thing. They start
He's
swapping
got the
jackets.
one with
and
the
sign 'em.
11/22/22 with the pen still
I'm
in it.
just picturing his closet. Is like,
How is
brown
that
jacket,
not? How is a
this
leather
one.
jacket not in the collector's
this one.
edition of one of his games yet?
right?
Yeah.
Get one of those. Todd Howard special.
Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan meet at the field, the 50-yard line after the game, and swap shirts.
Jesus.
It's been a good
I
game,
don't
but
think that's happening.
no, only
anytime
after
soon.
Microsoft acquires ABK.
Right.
They'll meet on the field after and shake hands.
in the
and-
courthouse.
Yeah.
They'll sign each other's jackets.
Yeah, and then Jim
Their
Ryan will
suit
be
jackets
mumbling under
cuts
his
the
breath
ribbon.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
Hell, I had Call of Duty Assault Time.
my God.
What?
Is that your Jim
Who was
Ryan?
that?
Is that your Jim
That was
Ryan?
my Jim Ryan.
Oh, that was Jim. Oh, okay.
And why
I
does
was
he
like, who
sound
is
like an old man from Kentucky? It sounds like
Well-
Jasper's grandfather, probably.
Because it probably is.
Like
I never met my
say-
grandfather, so
I say I'm a Jim Ryan. I say goodbye PS5. I say.
I say, boy.
was it the fucking like?
That sounds like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, Foghorn
Foghorn
Leghorn.
I say buy a PS5. I say.
We believe in generations.
I believe in generations, boy. I say. Yeah. Jim Ryan's like British, bro, or something
I
like
don't know how
that.
to do a British. How do you do a British accent?
No, he moved to America. He's no longer British.
It's no longer British. That how it works.
Same as Sony is no longer a Japanese company.
Yeah. Well, you could do like just play Harry Potter, man. You know what a British accent sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hello, governor.
It's
Yeah.
weird when I was playing Harry Potter, they kept having trouble with my name. They kept like saying it was inappropriate.
Well, what's your name?
It was like Mavo Speculoso.
yeah, they canceled him before he got to even play the game.
Yeah, they kept I kept
Oh.
doing different versions of like Speculos or whatever on the end, like, and
Mine
it
was just my name, like Mario BagginsMall. That's my name.
oh okay.
BagginsMall.
Bag and small,
BagginsMall.
like bag.
Like-
Your bag is small.
Like like Lord of the Rings, like Baggins, but mall.
but this is
Oh.
Harry Potter.
Okay,
BagginsMall. I know,
Baggins.
but it was
a
I
Mario
wasn't very
bag and small. What's your
Yeah.
Harry Potter name, Jasper?
My name.
Okay, that's
just Jasper.
that's no fun.
Well, my
That's
first
cool.
name and then my last name. Yeah, but
Oh.
Yeah, I had to like do 20 different revisions on that shit. Jigga J says Manscapuloso. Manscapuloso. That'd be good. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to like put your name up like all the time in the game, or I would have came up with something unique. But it's like, oh, well, I've already made my
Yeah.
character. Oh well.
Too far.
So is PlayStation supposed to have a show coming soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob said
Supposedly
by the
too.
end of February.
Okay.
And then they're going to have that's going to be a state of play small one and then a showcase, a bigger one before E3, he said. So,
Okay.
I think isn't the rumored like showcase for mainly VR stuff for February because that's coming out.
Probably.
yeah, it's smaller.
That
It's a
was
smaller
indie
state of
games.
play. Indie games and maybe some VR stuff. The showcase though before E3 is supposed to be a bigger one where they kind of show the roadmap a little bit. So we'll
Well,
see.
I mean, their VR 2 is coming out in March, right?
yeah.
It's February 28th, I think.
February
right?
28th?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Maybe that's why he said that they're supposed to have one before the end of February. Because some people said that beginning of March, and he came back today and said, no. I'd expect something before the end of February.
I wonder if they don't even hit the million.
22nd, February 22nd.
Remember they like supposedly they like denied backing off half of their forecast or whatever. I wonder if they even hit the half.
I
They
don't know.
won't report
Was that
if you don't
report
hear
real
numbers.
when they talked about the VR like scaling back in production?
They
Was that real?
denied it, but
They
they use
words.
interesting language in their denial.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming they probably saw the pre-orders aren't where they want it to be, so that's why they kind of scaled that
But like
back.
Addict said, nobody's talking about the games at all. They're just doing unboxings. That was Addict's tweet that got everybody stirred up today.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
something about VR 2 today?
Yeah, that's
You should trust these
that's-
VR
Oh.
specialists.
I saw
What?
that. That was your tweet.
Yeah. Addict started that this morning, and he got some
Yeah,
responses. People acting all
What's
crazy.
funny is it had like 56 likes or something like that, and had like 26,000 impressions. Like,
right.
and they were coming at me from every side. And all I was saying is, we've seen over and over again Sony strong arms influencers and media people to get to create the narrative they want to be created. But apparently the industry's perfect and there's never corruption. So go figure.
Yeah.
Well, they probably can't show gameplay. Like, there's probably NDAs for games and then just like unboxing and showing the hardware, I would assume.
But are they at least talking about it? Like the
IGN
resolution?
did the one, right, where they got to play Gran Turismo, right? So they did show that. They've shown Gran Turismo. a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
not seeing any hype about this online. Like usually before like a big device or accessory or console launches,
It's a niche.
I see a lot of like hype about it. You know what I mean?
But there's no game to be hype about. I mean,
Well,
Gran
it's also-
Turismo is probably the biggest thing, and it's not going to be any different than the way Drive Club was with PSVR 1. Like, if you like the way the game looks, all you're getting is head movement. That's it. And it's going to actually look worse in the headset than if you have a 4K TV. So is it more immersive? Kind of, but this isn't a ground up, VR build. It's just a head turn or look around type of VR, which that's the one that usually gets people sick. That's why you can do VR like with Grand Theft Auto 5, and you have the same, sickness from it with that head movement while you're driving a car or flying a plane. But outside of that, you got to wait for, what is it? The, Horizon Forbidden West or whatever, the Call of the Mountain thing or whatever it's going to be called. I mean, for me, there really isn't that many games that I'm looking forward to. I mean, sure, you could get Beat Saber, but you could get Beat Saber for cheaper on, an Oculus, 2 right now.
That's not even going to be at launch.
Yeah. So I remember everybody was rumoring about, Half-Life Alyx will be coming. Yeah, that would have been nice. That may have been worthwhile considering the price of entry on PC. But another thing that kind of pisses me off about this headset is that out of the box, it's not going to be compatible with PC. Like, you would think for a company that realizes that consoles are limited as far as the amount of, consumer purchases and whatnot as far as software, they would make it so you could use this on PC as they slowly, progressively put more and more of their titles on PC. I would have been a day one purchaser if that was the case, but it's not going to be
they intentionally blocked that stuff, Fuzzy, like with the PS5 and PS4 controller. Like, PS4 controller could have easily worked on a PS5, but they're like, oh, it's new technology. It's just to get people to buy a VR too, for the most part.
I would assume it
I
would
didn't know
probably
that. That's
work
weird.
on a PC, but they probably don't want to say that yet because they want you to go out and get like a PlayStation, all that stuff too. So it's like, it will probably work.
For somebody that already has the PlayStation and has a PC, that you would have a easier time selling me this PR or PSVR set as opposed to somebody that doesn't have a PS5 just yet, would like to get into VR, and they got to start fresh with either buying a PS5 or a PC. If it works, it works. Just that would have made more sense. Like the Hackintosh method that you had to do with the PSVR one, PSVR, the original.
Yeah, you probably still got to do a little bit of fucking tinkering and shit to get it to work, like just on like certain stuff. But like,
yeah,
you're also not going to get every game to work because some of the VR games are already fucking locked down on weird headsets anyway right now. So
true, but yeah, they're I guess it just feels weird that they're not hyping this up any more than like what they normally would do. Like PSVR 1, when it launched, they got more commercial advertisement. I mean, I guess, in the next few weeks, we'll see if there's a change. But typically, Sony is usually a month to 2 months out when you see a lot of ads pushing their products before a launch. And this time, it's kind of like crickets. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm wondering if that has something to do with the ABK deal, or if they're they're not confident in the.
I don't think they have a lot to push with it.
Agents of their lawyer fees.
Yeah,
I
but I mean, it's probably gonna be a good product. I just worry about like long term effects or long term of it, like for people that are gonna buy it. Like it could be one of those things that like 2 years from now doesn't really get supported. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Maybe they'll
It's gonna be like the Vita.
Maybe, I don't know.
We're gonna kill it off in a couple of years.
I hope it's successful.
I wish it reminds me of the what's the PS5 game with the Astrobot. Like a lot of those features were amazing on that controller.
That was just a tech demo to show you the features.
I know,
tech demo
but
game.
That was years ago, and I still haven't seen other games really.
Because the whole game was built around the fact of the controller. Right.
I know, but it was also made to show.
The thing is, like
what
a lot of those, like that's always been a thing. Like in the industry. Like whenever there's a certain console that can do a certain thing, like it never works because if the other one can't do it, the multiplats aren't going to fucking make that shit anyways.
The only people that would do all this special shit with the controller for a game is Sony, and they haven't made another game since Astrobot for it. So like they made something and sold it that's completely fucking useless. As and
it's
marketed
the same as like
graphical
features, like certain things that will work on Xbox if you're making a multi-platform.
I mean, have y'all seen a game come out where you have to fucking blow in your controller yet?
Nope.
I mean,
it would have made sense for like what do you call it, Ratchet and Clank. Like that would be a perfect one to carry a lot of those same, senses and stuff through the controller for Ratchet and Clank. I mean, they do turn it up more so than like just a regular, like rumble control or whatever, but it's nowhere near like what Astrobot was as far as the feel. And they could have stood to, put that extra effort into it. Same thing with Spider-Man, the web slinging. Yeah, you feel a little bit of it in the triggers, but
yeah, I mean, it's up to them. It's up to them to really make the most of it. And I feel kind of just like a gimmick right now. Right.
Hey, guys, I gotta get going. I have something that just came up.
Yeah, right on, man. We're getting out of here. Hey, tell everybody where they can find you because we're about to do the outros anyway.
So you can follow me on Twitter at LordAddict.IOP. Every Sunday, 1 p.m. we do the Iron Lords podcast on the IOP channel. Appreciate the invite. I just my girlfriend calling me and I'm trying to answer the phone.
Yeah, no problem, Brent.
No problem, Addict.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. Take care of business,
Thanks,
bro.
Addict.
And
you too, man.
Good talking to you.
See ya.
But yeah, it's time to wrap up the show anyway, guys. It's just about to. So, what a fun time tonight. We got to shit on Sony. We got to shit on Nintendo. We got to say March for Starfield. We got to shit on cancel culture. We get to talk about awesome games.
We got to shit on Halo.
Yeah, I mean, this was a very positive show. But yeah, 2023 is pretty special so far. I feel like this year's going to keep on going. Shout out again. Appreciate Addict for being here. Like Lord Addict with the Iron Lords podcast, guys. Make sure you go check him out and the other shows they got going on because he's doing lots of stuff over there. Like they have the Addict show. He has Dirt on there a lot, and then he has the R&R with King David, where they talk about movies and stuff. They talk about shows like so they've been deep diving on the Last of Us show every week, and Addict's like he hates it as much as Halo now, pretty much, which was funny to watch his takes on it. But yeah, make sure you check him out and show them the support over at the Iron Lords podcast, lordsofgaming.net, because those guys are freaking amazing. Besides that, awesome panel here as always, guys. You rock. Thank you for being here each and every week. Thank you for being here once in a few months, 3-bit. I appreciate you.
Of course.
We'll start with you, bro. Tell everybody where they can find you, man.
Everyone can follow me on Twitter at i3bit. That's pretty much where you can find me. I'm on FSP on Mondays, and then I occasionally pop up here when I can. And look out for the Super Bowl Aflac commercial. If it is up, then cool. I had a hand in that awesome team over at Dagger Agency. So that's pretty much it. Love talking topics with you guys. Addict, you're awesome if you're watching this back. Thanks for joining us. Pong, Jasper, Psycho Fuzzy, you guys are awesome. So I'll see you guys on the next show. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks, 3-bit. Fuzzy, what about you, bro? Where can everybody find you?
Oh, just thank you for having me on here. It's awesome being on here with you guys and Addict. If anybody wants to hear my endless rambles on anything gaming related, just follow me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow with PTK Blam and Pong Soul, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on PTK Blam's channel. You can also find me on the Xbox Lunch Break Special on Mr. Boomstick's channel at 12 noon on Monday. And then later that evening on FSP right here on Fun Speculations channel, or Fun Speculation Network, as we like to call it. And then you can also find me on Breakfast with Boom, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Double Barrel Gaming. And then right back here on Xbox Ultimate with the family Was it 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Appreciate it, Buzz, as well.
Is that Bruno Mars on 3-Bits icon?
That's 3-bit.
Oh, is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
Bruno. I was
Model
like,
picture.
why is Bruno Mars? Why was 3-Bit have Bruno's Mars?
I
picture?
catch a grenade for ya. Yeah. Thanks, Fuzzy. Appreciate you, bro. What about you, Psycho? What you got going on?
Yeah, I have nothing going on except for playing some Hogwarts.
You've been
and,
playing.
That's why you were so quiet. That's why you were so quiet tonight.
This whole show?
That's why he's off camera.
Yes. Yes.
What?
What?
Yeah, I know he's playing the game. I get
Wizarding. Look at
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I'm fucking
Addicted.
geeking out over here. So, yeah, you can find me everywhere, social media, Psychonauts 8. And again, we'll if we see the Starfield Super Bowl commercial, expect a late March, maybe early April release date. Just saying. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'm gonna
And,
have to
yeah.
watch the whole thing, like with that. Really pay attention, just for that.
Xbox will probably do.
I'm sure you'll be
it.
on your phone looking at Twitter, and then you'll see it on Twitter first.
Yeah, I'll wait for the internet to blow up. Thanks.
Yeah, it'll probably be like the first. It'll probably be like a couple. It'd be first, second quarter.
I think it'd be halftime.
Halftime's the big ones.
Well, halftime they just go straight to the halftime show, and then they have.
Well, there's a
some
time.
ads.
There's a time between the
Before and after.
before
Into
the
second
halftime.
quarter, then halftime, and then into halftime into third quarter.
Yeah, because they have to set
It
up the
just
stage
depends.
and stuff, so they go to commercial while they're doing that.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people change the channel to go to other halftime shows. So
Do they?
at least that's They had. There was the
That's-
puppy.
You talking about,
Super
like,
Bowl one
analysts?
year.
Like, where they're
Puppy
like-
Super Bowl. I was just
Uh,
gonna bring that up. Are you seriously bringing up the Puppy Super Bowl?
Puppy Super Bowl. You know, there's a lot of different like people don't want to see a certain act or
Most people watch the Super Bowl. Like a lot of people watch it for the commercials, though. Too.
Yeah.
So it's like-
There's a lot of people that only care about the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Also, like, because it's like a big
those
deal.
mostly the wives.
So it'll be. I don't know, the Super Bowl. Who do you guys got real quick? Like, do we have any picks?
I don't
here
give
real
a
quick?
shit.
No, you don't.
don't watch
probably
the Super
Eagles,
Bowl.
Who's even playing at the Super Bowl?
Eagles
and Chiefs.
I hate
Oh,
the Eagles. So I'll go
Eagles is
Chiefs.
winning.
I'll go Chiefs.
Sorry, Paul.
I,
Eagles
like
I-
Mahomes.
see,
I
I'm-
don't give a shit, so it don't matter to me anymore.
I'm AFC.
I
I
stopped
don't
caring
like the Chiefs, so
2 years ago.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I like Mahomes, so I'll go to Chiefs.
What about you,
Yeah.
Buzz?
Chiefs.
I'm figuring the Eagles. It'll probably be like a 28-21 or something like that.
28-21.
I would
Eagles.
play the Eagles on Madden 2005, so that's why I'm
Yeah.
voting.
I keep flip flopping in my head.
2005 2K5? Are you serious?
Madden 2005. Yeah.
Oh, you were playing Madden instead of 2K? What the fuck are you doing?
I think that's when I
Was
got
that
into
around-
Madden.
Oh yeah, that was around the same.
That's when
don't
I
know.
got into Madden. Was like around 2004 to like 6 is when I was really into
You
it.
could have saved $30 that year, $40 that year, and got an ESPN NFL 2K5 3-bit. It was
Right.
$20 that year.
And it was
Oh.
so much better. Was that that was TO's cover, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mm.
it was it was the last year. ESPN NFL
Yeah.
2K5, 20
Yep.
$20.
Yep.
And fucking best football game.
I think it was
ever played.
05 or 06 had Michael Vick when he was on the Eagles, right?
That was
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think that was
that's
06.
not
I forgot.
2K though. That's
That's not too
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Madden.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and you find me everywhere, social media and on the show.
Oh, Psycho's still going? Damn.
Yeah, well, I went into where are you gonna find me, and then I went into the Super Bowl commercial, and then we went on who's gonna win the Super Bowl.
What
And,
level you in Wizard?
25.
Nice.
Wow.
You've been rocking out. You've been up 24/7, haven't you?
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah, but I have like so much stuff.
I'm like level 3.
I just go section to set. Didn't touch every.
Yeah, I do every side quest I come across and then go back to the main quest.
I mean, how y'all put this much time into a 1 out of 10 game, guys?
1 out of 10 games.
That's what Wired gave it.
Have you
Yeah.
found have you finished your Hogwarts papers? Like, have you got enough papers to get all the collection there?
I'm almost there. I gotta get. I had to go get all the one locked doors, and then try
Yeah, I
and
was
find
just
those little
there's
moon
like the
things.
thing where you collect like the last challenge you got to collect 50 papers or whatever around Hogwarts.
Yeah,
I'm like 30
I think I'm
on
at
that one, I
30.
think.
Yeah.
30
There's
out of
more
50.
than enough. So
I'm
like
only level 16 right now, so
I found enough to finish it. And I'm still finding them. So like there's like plenty of extra collectibles
extras.
to finish.
There's
Yeah.
extras. That's what I thought. Kind of figured that's what they did.
Yeah, there's too much to have. You'd be only a specific amount of papers flying around in that game, because then people will be like, "Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna go back." So
Right on, bro. Chiefs. I'll say it, Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah.
I've been flip flopping back and forth because like my brain tells me the defense of the Eagles is probably gonna win because the defense is superior. But I hate the fucking Eagles, right? And Mahomes could pull something out of his ass. You know what I mean? So
what a gerbil.
probably.
What did the Eagles do to you, man?
I'm a Cowboys
He's a
fan.
Cowboys
dude.
fan.
You understand?
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
see, that's why I don't like the Chiefs.
Becoming
I'm a
clear.
Browns fan, AFC. So fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sorry if you like the Chiefs, but fuck the Chiefs.
Do the Browns fans like anyone?
No, they do not like. Well, it's the Steelers and the Ravens. They can suck a
The
dick.
only thing the Browns fans like is off season because that's the only time they ever have hope.
Oh
Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh.
Psycho. Did I touch a nerve?
no, except for was not this past season, but the season before when we spanked the Cowboys 31-5. That was fantastic.
Yeah, did you enjoy that one win that year? That was great.
No, that was 2017.
You know it's bad when you got to bring up a regular season game.
Yeah.
Remember that time we kicked your ass in the regular season?
Yeah. Jasper, where can everybody find you, dude?
Yo. Check it out.
Cancel him right now, folks.
Beastie
Just cancel
Boys.
his ass.
Jesus Christ. Let's go.
You can find me in the wizarding world. I'm gonna
Brass
be
monkey. That funky monkey. Let's go.
DJ Jasper Jeff.
Oh man.
We screw up his
You
outro
can find
every
me in the
time.
wizarding world. I ain't gonna be getting bored because I got all the.
Oh my god.
I can't think of anything else. Lord Jasper Twitter, Lord Master Jasper YouTube. That's about it. FSP Monday night, 10 o'clock, Fun Speculation Network, and then back at it again Friday night, Xbox Ultimate. You just watched it. Come back again next Friday and watch it again, 10 o'clock right here. That's where I'm at. Check it out. Yo.
Check it out.
Right on. Yo, everybody. Hey, thanks for checking out Jasper. All right, what about you?
Ma,
Paul?
ma, ma.
Hey, listen, everybody, it was a great night. Attic, thank you for coming on, brother. If you're listening to this, but it was great to have Attic on here, and of course, great to have 3-Bit back with the brothers from others doing this thing. So it was a great Friday night, great Xbox Ultimate chat. You guys were absolutely freaking incredible. Lots of good conversation in there. Thanks for joining us. And of course, tomorrow morning, you know it. You got to set those alarms right now if you haven't already. I did not put out a video. I said last night I was going to try to get one out this morning. That didn't work. That didn't happen. So living split screen tomorrow morning. Myself, my brother from another, Steel Rain. We are going to have some rants tomorrow. I actually was going to be praising journalists for, some of the good that they did this week with Hogwarts. But now Wired showed up. So now I've got not only praise, but I'm also going to have a rant. And of course, Steel's going to be right there with me. So we're going to have a good time. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Wake up with Living Split Screen, 3 p.m. UK time. Be there, live, raw, and uncut. And then, of course, tomorrow night, as Fuzzy said, the Shop Podcast over on PTK Blam's channel. We don't have a guest announced as of right now, I don't think, Fuzzy. No, we don't. So it might just be PTK, Fuzzy, and myself, but we're going to have a great time as we always do on Saturday nights. So be there, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, it starts next week, Xbox Factor Podcast every Tuesday, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick, 5 days a week. But Tuesdays is where you get all good things green on Xbox Factor, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, Thursday nights, it's PM in the PM. It's Pong and Mav in the PM, where I sit in the captain's chair and we have great conversations. Mav and I, my God, last night was fun. We didn't even know what we were doing. We both hadn't talked all week long. I had barely looked at the news. I haven't been on Twitter as much as normal. Neither had Mav. But we still wound up with like a 3.5 hour show. We talked 40 minutes out of the blue about Starfield because, of course, it's Starfield. So we can talk about
him being at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we talked about the Super Bowl. We spent all of Xbox's marketing money for the entire year, or maybe 2 years worth.
It would be worth
talking
it.
About what we would do.
It would be
exactly.
worth it.
It would be worth it. I would agree. So go check that one out if you haven't. But this coming week, we will be back again, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time, right here on the Fun Speculation Network, as always. And then, of course, Xbox Ultimate next Friday. It's the golden age of gaming, people. It truly is. 2023 is off to one hell of a start. I don't think any of us could have planned it out better for how this has began, and it's going to continue. Can't wait to see what comes next. Get out there this weekend, enjoy it, play what you love what you play. I'll be talking to you in just about 10 hours. See you then.
Right on, man. Real quick, what games do you guys think that Jez had that he was playing that he was raving about?
Wolong for sure. Know that.
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart, Wolong.
Starfield.
Oh no, and for sure Wild Hearts.
Wild
Hearts.
Hearts.
He talked about it a little bit. Yeah, Wild Hearts. Yep, that was the other one. And he's very impressed with Wild Hearts. You can tell that already. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they spoke about the compulsion game today, but the article that was referencing the game was actually referencing Jez when he talked about Project Midnight, and he's like, yeah, don't listen to everything you hear, because I saw a playable demo or whatever it was, like, and things can change, and so he's like, I know a lot of people in that chat was like, oh yeah, it's confirmed and blah blah blah. It's like, I mean, he's even saying it's not, but
cool. Yeah, we'll see. It looks like more awesome games are on the horizon, though. So that's pretty damn awesome.
Yep.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in again to the show. And you all rock. Steel Rain says Wild Hearts, Wolong, Atomic Heart, all high quality games releasing very soon. Yeah, it's gonna be a good month. Next month. Peace out, everybody.
Deep dive. It's gonna be freaking amazing.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait. We will get an announcement of that Monday, maybe. Monday, maybe. We'll see.
Sometime next week.
You rock,
We
guys.
could do it the exact same time as the State of Play. That'd be sweet.
Oh my god. What if they released it the same time at the State of Play?
Oh god, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Just like
if they ask it first, PlayStation's gonna move out of the way. They'll push it a day or two.
Oh my god, it'd be amazing though.
Yeah.
Oh,
that'd be sick. Just like drop it like 5 minutes before their State of Play is supposed to start.
Right. Just be like, tune in over here for a Starfield deep dive. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Talk about sucking the energy out of the room. Holy shit. It's
Zoop.
over with. Yep.
Hold on. Did Sony had a fucking event today? I don't know. Starfield's coming out in March. That's all I care about.
I got it. Do you think if a Starfield deep dive happened at the same time as the State of Play, more people would watch the deep dive for Starfield or watch the State of Play?
If word gets out that the deep dive or that the State of Play is about the VR, hell yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a hint of a rumor of Wolverine being shown, which I doubt.
There's always is.
There's always every if you listen to every PlayStation so-called insider, it's either Wolverine, the fucking Spider-Man 2, a new either
a new Star Wars,
the Metal Gear, Metal Gear remake.
Metal Gear. It's the fucking moon, everything in the moon, and then they're like distraught when it's like fucking 3 indie games and like
Resident Evil again,
a picture card of Ragnarok, and they're like, "This is the best showcase ever."
Yeah. Starfield would crush it.
Yeah,
they're making Ghost of Tsushima too.
Oh my god. God of War remake already announced.
Bloodborne's at this one. I know we called Bloodborne remaster like 7 years ago, but it's finally at this one.
Yeah, right. No, Starfield would crush it, man. 100%.
Yeah,
they would. Everybody go back and rewatch the State of Play afterwards. Nobody would care. Everybody want to see that deep dive. even the haters would show up.
Yeah,
just to see what it was.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I think you're right.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank
And
you.
then I'm gonna say it's trash.
Yep. of course.
Probably so, but it ain't gonna be. That game's gonna be epic. Thank you all again. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Take it easy. Good night.
Later.
Everyone, watch out! The sun's falling apart.
And there's like spy craft flying above us, and there's weird UFOs being
Kinda
shot down in
spying on
Alaska. Maybe the Alaska thing was part of the Starfield marketing material that accidentally
Maybe
got
it was.
shot down out of the sky. All right, bye for real this time. Peace.
You're still not out?
No, it's still not out.
Jesus.
Oh.